Ah, god damn it. 1 second. Fuck my camera. Let me tell you, man. It's a setting in my camera that like doesn't save. It used to save. It doesn't save anymore. Like when I first got this camera, it would save. Now it doesn't save. And I have to like reset this thing every time I use it. If I forget, then you literally can't see me. Like like the lights have to be on at maximum output for you to see my fucking face. Unbelievable. Uh, so anyway, we're moving past that. We're thriving. We're surviving, and we only have one individual here. Okay, all right. In terms of our probably our audience, but also, um, also in terms of our friend Lila Warkai, he's here. But we're gonna wait until we have more people around. So we're waiting for the others. It's all black everything, so everyone's gonna be late. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Um, but yeah. So let's see. Let's talk about stuff. I'm looking for an article to look at. Awful things in Gaza. I don't know. I just kind of want to talk about. I mean, I've been taking in news about it all day, and I particularly want to talk about it in this particular moment. But just awfulness, true tragedy that's happening there. A genocide. Destiny is for that genocide. I want you to remind you of that. He's pro ethnic cleansing. That part's very, very important. Exo Energy says its facilities may have started largest wildfire in Texas history. Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay. So yeah, there are wildfires going on in Texas. I haven't really talked about this, but I mean, you got a bunch of wildfires. But the reasons why can often be because of corporate greed. We saw that in California. California was because of their poor management of their wires, like the power company there. Yeah, the public company which was handling the private company which was handling publicly paid for infrastructure, supposedly at a lower cost, caused the biggest wildfires in California history, which were incredibly expensive, right? But yeah, you can really feel the savings there. Because they didn't feel like, like doing the regular maintenance to the trees, the power lines, right, to keep the power lines free from the trees, and then that caused a fire, and lots of people died. But like whatevs, nothing to do about it, I guess. So now with this company, Xcel Energy says its facilities may have started largest wildfire in Texas history. Texas officials announced Thursday that the Smokehouse Creek fire was caused by downed power lines. The utility company said it was also conducting its own review. Huh. What do you know? Xcel Energy facilities appear to be have involved in an ignition of a giant wildfire that's been blazing across the Texas Panhandle since last month. Since last month, they've been having this. It's like, wow. The company said in a statement Thursday, so they did not provide additional details on how it came to the determination. But it said it was based on currently available information. Xcel Energy disputes claims that it acted negligently in maintaining and operating its infrastructures. This is, I believe, I mean, this is one of the companies, right? That was part of the big freeze a few years ago, where it was winter and it was a particularly harsh winter, and because they didn't properly upgrade their equipment, which was put in a report, right? They knew this was going to happen. They didn't properly update their equipment to handle that type of weather. Completely foreseeable outcome. When that outcome happened, the equipment failed. The power infrastructure died during this awful snowstorm, or winter snap in any case, and people died in their homes of like hypothermia. They just like froze to death in their homes. That's the thing that happened. I can't say for sure this is one of the companies that was involved in it, but I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess. Um, but they're talking about, oh yeah, we dispute any claims that we were negligent in maintaining and operating our infrastructure. However, we encourage people who had property destroyed by or livestock lost in Smokehouse Creek fire to submit a claim to Xcel Energy through our claims process. The Texas A&M Forest Service said Thursday investigators determined that Smokehouse Creek fire, the biggest in state history, burning well over 1 million acres and a lot of homes, and the Windy Deuce fire were caused by down power lines that ignited the flames. The Forest Service did not say whether the power lines were not that ignited the fires belonged to Xcel Energy. The ongoing Smokehouse Creek fire is the largest blaze in state history, as I just said, burning more than 59,570 acres. According to the Forest Service, 2 people have been killed in the blaze, which is incredible. It's an incredible bit of a um uh it's a modern marvel that only 2 people have died from a 1 million acre blaze. A 1 million acre blaze and only 2 people died. That's because of like telecommunication communication and like infrastructure to let people know, hey man, there's a fire heading your way. That's the reason why. Because like if this happened, like 100 years ago or 150 years ago, yeah, a lot of people die. It would be an untold tragedy, unfathomable tragedy. Um, but this is like weather reporting type stuff. Like shout out to the weather service, because they keep people alive. In other countries where they don't have that kind of infrastructure, there, a lot of people die, where they could have otherwise been saved. Like weather deaths are a much bigger part because we just don't get forewarning, right? Most of it's just forewarning, letting you know, right? But anyway, so I got a little distracted there. 5 infrastructures have been destroyed as a result. As of Thursday morning, the Forest Service reported the fire has 74% contained, with 2 adjacent fires still burning as well. Okay. Claims filed to Xcel Energy will be handled expeditiously, prioritizing those who lost their homes in the fire, the company said. Utility companies in recent years have been accused of sparking major wildfires in both Hawaii and California, like I was telling you about last year. Residents filed a lawsuit against Hawaiian Electric, alleging years of negligence and failure to shut down its power lines before harsh winds hit Maui. Okay, yeah. I think it's maybe a little bit more unclear of the Hawaii one. Example, I've heard conflicting perspectives on that, and I am certainly not an expert. So I can't say. But am I willing to believe that a for-profit corporation decided to cut costs, and that led to a disaster? Yes, I'm very much willing to believe that. There's a little company said uh, firefighters left the scene of that fire after declaring it contained, but a second wildfire broke out and spread out to the city of Lahaina, killing at least 101 people. Yeah, like I said, yeah. So the utility company says that like there was a fire or there was an incident and it was contained, and they thought like, okay, it's good to have the power running through these power lines, and then another fire broke out. So I don't know. Like I said, it's not clear. California's Pacific Gas and Electric Company agreed to pay $13.5 billion in damages to wildfire victims in 2019 after residents filed suits against the company in connection with 4 fatal fires across 3 years. The fires covered by the settlement included the 2015 Butte Fire, the 2016 Ghost Ship Fire, and the 2017 Tubbs Fire, and the 2018 Camp Fire. Camp Fire was crazy. I'm actually trying to see if I can find this. Xcel Energy. Big freeze. Let's see if we can find that. Okay. Minnesotans furious that they have to pay for Texas deep freeze. Okay, Minnesota. Okay, let's take a look at. Xcel's in here somehow. Xcel. Minnesota's other major natural gas utility, Xcel Energy, said it will be seeking to recover its additional expenses from Texas deep freeze but it wouldn't be charging customers interest. Excel estimates the interest of the. Okay, so there's a longer thing about that, but Excel exploring how to fix issues. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. I might have found it. Excel exploring how to fix issues that cause outages during polar vortex. There we go. 100%. It's what I thought. 100%. Excel Energy will revisit its planning for extreme cold weather after the utility's natural gas system proved faulty during January's big freeze. That's what they used to call it, the big freeze. The problems had led to outages for about 180 customers and prompted nervous Excel executives to ask all of the company's 460,000 gas customers in Minnesota to lower their thermostats to 63 degrees to conserve gas supplies. So that's what that last article was trying to get to, but I didn't get a chance to read it. So what I tell you, it's exactly what I was saying. This company, right, who says, well, of course, this wildfire that apparently we're emitting is caused by our power lines. Negligence? Certainly not. Certainly not. Okay, cut to 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Their negligence is why their power facilities failed. And when we were having a deep cold snap in this country, a polar vortex, it failed and people were freezing in the house. I'm not sure any of their customers happened to have died in that particular instance, right? But customers around Texas did die. So yeah, I don't quite believe Excel when it tells me no negligence was involved. Yeah, I don't quite give them that grace. But okay, looks like people are showing up. All right, let's get started. Awful.
Whoa, hey.
Hey.
How you doing, brother?
Doing all right. How are you, friend?
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. I've been doing so much better since I've told my job I have ADHD.
Okay.
They've been helping me figure out systems that help me
Okay.
be more productive at work. So I feel good.
When your attention starts to wander, right? When your attention starts to wander, do they like shock your balls? Like, is that what they do? They just like
No, it's
is
not the
that
ball.
like does that get your focus back?
No, the scrotum. Scrotum.
Scrotum. Got it.
Yeah. And what's that in between area?
The taint?
I forgot.
Gooch.
The taint, the gooch. They just have
Not the gooch, bro.
they have
a live wire.
Yep, exactly. They have that, the clips.
The clips.
It's right. It's just two of them, and then I'm on my phone. It gets me right to it. So it's really helpful.
Never been more productive.
And never. But on a serious note, what they've done is instead of like me having a bunch of tasks that I have to do on any given amount of day, my supervisor, who used to be a teacher, so she probably has dealt with ADHD kids before. She gave me each day is a certain project. So usually I have a bunch of projects that I'm like scrabbling to do each day. But now it's on one day I'm doing this project and this helped me so much. Who knew it would help me? Because that way I could just focus on one thing per day instead of having like my mind gets jumbled and scrambled when I have different things to worry about at the same time.
That's fantastic that your bosses were so accommodating. Rather than blaming you for inefficiencies, right? They're like, okay, how do we work with this person so that he can be his best? And apparently it's happening.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be at the position I'm at for sure. They really care about your personal growth.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love to hear it. We hate when like these things it's interesting. So it's interesting. What counts as a disability? Like what is an actual disability? like someone made the argument, and I totally buy it, right? Like it totally makes sense that a disability is simply a situation where society doesn't accommodate you, right? Where you have some sort of
Yes, the ability and disability is your ability to function in society.
yeah, but specifically, yeah, is your function. Well, it's less your ability to function in society and society's
Or well,
willingness to make those accommodations. So, like, the an example that there was given, and it's a really good example, is like glasses, right? And you wear glasses. Like, if you can't without glasses, like for some people, like they can't see like damn near anything, right? They're
yeah.
practically blind. But like here in the States and in Western nations, it's very simple to fix, right? We've got a lot of infrastructure there to accommodate people, right? You
Mhm.
get glasses, and you're good to go. You're a fully functioning member of society again. But there are other nations where they don't have that. Those people like who
But might I
just a pair
add
of
that
glasses almost done. Just a pair of glasses would fix it. They don't have that, and so they are blind, right? And so
I,
that's a disability. That person is disabled now, where like you would not be,
but I feel like most people don't have that type. Like I can very much function without my glasses. It just
My
helps.
friend Scott,
Most
like
people aren't that
yeah,
blind, is what I'm saying.
Some people really can't though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
no,
just giving you
but
an
most people
example.
aren't.
I'm just giving
I,
you
I would even
yeah.
I would even count those people right now in America who need glasses to function. I would call them disabled for sure.
Really? Okay, so
Yeah,
I definitely
There's a
wouldn't.
ter-
I'm not
there's a
visually
term.
impaired to the extent that
There's-
it harms. Like I can't do a bunch of stuff without glasses. If you need glasses, need and emphasis on need, I do think you are disabled, even in
Should you
America.
get a handicap plaque for that?
I think so.
There's no, okay, but does that there's a term legally blind. My grandmother is legally blind. She has glasses.
You're
in order to be
legally
able to
blind?
see. No, my grandmother.
Grandmother.
My grandmother has glasses that she absolutely needs to do most things, and she has a handicap placard because of her being legally blind, and not just because she's old. Like
Awesome.
being legally blind is one of the main reasons she has that placard.
Right. Most people aren't legally blind, even the ones that are slightly vision impaired. Like most people who have glasses can function without them. It just helps a lot.
I've noticed some
Like,
people
for
that
me-
get handicap placards just because one leg is shorter than the other.
Really?
Yeah, that was
Lucky.
the thing.
Like by
Is that
inch
lucky?
or-
Like by virtually like you can barely even tell. You'd have to literally get out a measuring.
Oh,
tape
she's
to,
scamming the system. That's scamming
yeah.
the system.
Like what they wobble, but there's no reason for them to wobble, but it's just because the one shorter. It's like,
Fuck out of
Yeah.
that. My
Well,
limping. I know.
What is that rhyme? Like wibbles, wobbles, but they don't fall over, something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's like a toy. I think it's like it was the advertisement for like a toy or something.
it
these things that-
wibbles, it wobbles, but it don't fall over. It's like it's not a sock and bopper. That's the punchy things.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Is cyberbullying a crime? Do you guys know?
I don't think so.
I think it might be.
Maybe in some
Definitely,
places.
I believe it could be seen as like targeted harassment. Definitely.
Can you talk shit about somebody online?
I mean,
without-
like, I'm not
talking
sure if
to
it's
them?
called cyberbullying. It might be it's called online harassment. But
Yeah, targeted harassment.
yeah.
So is
I'll
talking
look it
about
up.
someone harassment, or do you have to talk to someone to be
Oh
harassed?
no! In California, it is illegal. I
Harassment.
can't cyberbully anybody. It'll cost me a G.
Federal laws
Fuck, I got-
online. I'm
I gotta
searching it
stop
right
messing
now.
with Dream then.
Oh wow.
At the federal levels, there are laws that address online abuse, including stalking and interstate threats, harassment via telecommunications, hacking, and identity theft. So I'm guessing it's the harassment via
48
telecommunications.
states.
So this is my question about harassment. Is harassment only when you talk to someone or about someone? Like if I was on a TikTok live talking about you, Prime,
yeah.
you're seeing like the results of it, or are making a TikTok video about you. But I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about you. I'm talking to other people about you. Is that harassment still?
I
if
think
you're
it,
saying if you're saying something in order to cause said people that are watching you to then go after him, yes.
Well, saying intentionally places another person in reasonable fear for their safety or fear of for their family by means of electronic communication without their consent to cause person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment, and then doxing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So either of those fall under the cyberbullying
Yeah.
laws.
That's why I said,
doxing.
yeah,
I mean, doxing. That's the big part.
So
that's
watch
an
your
obvious. That's obvious.
Electronically
So
distributes,
watch your
publishes
ass
emails,
stream.
hyperlinks.
Yeah. No, we see. No, we know. We know how I feel. So then you're gonna apologize to me about what you said about me last night. Then, okay? All right. Now that
You're losing
we
your
got
ride. You're ready to lose
now,
a whole
now
band.
we got it understood.
yeah.
You gonna apologize, right?
Where do you live, Razor?
Uh,
Where do you live? New York?
What, Ro?
No,
Not California, right?
I am Cali.
No way.
He's got the Rams,
Yes,
the LA
well,
Rams
You're in
thing
LA?
right there. It's right there.
You're close to
No,
Legion.
no. Okay, so no, I'm not. I'm not no. but I had been a fan of them since they were in St. Louis. So I just kind of stuck with them. I was 7 when they were in
Wait,
St. Louis.
we don't have the Saints anymore?
They do
The
it.
Saints?
That's
What?
New Orleans.
What?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a different Saint.
New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've been. Oh, why do you know what? Actually, I'm gonna say, why do
And
women
he's
talk so
got
much?
He got Jets.
Okay. Wait, what? What?
Came out,
What?
came out the woodwork. Why do women
bro.
talk so much?
I've been trying to jump in the call 20 minutes and then like, oh yeah, I just won this thing. I gotta tell you.
That's why I laid down the law with my woman. I said I got a debate
Whoa!
panel.
Hello,
here.
Lay down the law,
brother.
Or else.
I would
I'm-
love.
Or else.
We gotta get his girlfriend in here. All right, we gotta see. We gotta see what that look like.
Whoa. Lay down the law. I ain't never heard that.
Was here if he's
I
still
was-
talking like
I
Cash
was-
Money when she's in here.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm of course fucking around.
I've
Like-
established boundaries. But
Stand
you
on
lay
business.
down the law.
Yeah.
SOB.
Huh?
Don't take it back. You know what it is.
No,
Yeah.
no, my girlfriend loves my girlfriend knows that I do these things, and we constantly communicate like as I'm working. Literally,
Yeah, I
it's like, oh,
constantly
by this
communicate
time
with my
I'm
fist.
this day
Oh.
doing that. It's like by the way, doing this at this time. So if I don't call you, that's what's happening. And if
Do you
call me,
allow
I'm
your
hanging.
girl to vote or do you vote for her?
She's already done her ballot. I haven't.
Wait. Oh, you have it because you're checking it, right? Like, did she do it correctly?
You gotta make
Like,
sure.
Because
Wait a minute,
no, because it didn't get sent to my address. My thing is my information is slightly off. It's sent to my last. It's sent to my last.
That's a
address.
likely excuse. Likely.
Do
excuse.
y'all vote for?
I do
Do
that,
y'all
though.
vote for anyone else?
Yeah, I vote all the way down ballot. But I made every voting decision for my girlfriend.
I mean, I vote for my mom, so I
She
understand.
was
But that's just
completely-
because
She wasn't political.
I help my grandma.
yeah, I'm about to say,
I
if
help
you're apolitical, then it's like
Yeah.
because she didn't even want to get registered. She didn't know the process. I was like, all right, I'm getting you registered then. Like,
Yeah.
we're-
Yeah, my mom. My mom.
I
doesn't
help
like-
my grandma I help my grandma with making her things. That's about it.
My mom doesn't want to vote physically, but values the vote. So she's like, just do it for me.
My parents like ask my advice for voting all the time. They like usually like, yeah, help us fill this out. Yeah. So
I'm the only liberal in my family, so I don't get any of that.
oh,
Really?
they don't
Yeah.
trust you.
Hey, hold on. I got a question. Okay, I got a question for all y'all.
Yeah, all
Just
my
a
family's
small-
Trump
just one-
supporters.
In LA?
Ooh. Ow.
Well, I
Yeah,
their vote
no,
doesn't
red
matter.
pockets. Red pockets are weird.
I'm
Their vote
talking
doesn't matter in
so-
California.
I got a real small.
I'm
I got a
talking
real small
so
question.
strong Trump supporting that when January 6th happened, I'm like, look at this. They're like, yeah, that's Antifa wearing Trump hats.
God.
I'm
Nah.
like,
And then later
So
on,
you
and
got
then later
black
on, they
Trumpers?
were like, when those people were being put in jail, like, no, those are the patriots, right? And Trump should get them out. And they never
double
bothered marrying these two
They're
arguments.
chameleons. They're chameleons.
Hey, so real fast, I got a question for all of you. Just a very small question. I haven't eaten today, so I'm doing DoorDash. And I'm getting Popeyes. Should I get the Cajun fries, the mac and
Mashed
cheese, or the
potatoes.
mashed potatoes?
mashed
Wait,
potatoes, don't mess
Cajun
around.
fries
You know what's
every
up.
time.
Oh, I mixed up Popeyes
the
with Papa
fries?
John's. I was like, what is on this menu? I was like, when did Papa John's switch up? Well,
You always get the fries, bro.
yeah, the fries are A tier. They're probably the best fries in all
I-
fries.
I don't-
Gravy.
There
I
is
would-
no fast food mashed potatoes that is good.
No,
Popeyes,
KFC.
Cajun,
I've
Cajun
definitely some
gravy.
mashed
I love
It's
them.
Yeah,
banging.
I would go for mashed potatoes. All right, so we got two versus
we
six.
got
We're
two. We got
completely
two and
unhelpful
two.
to you.
Damn
No,
it.
definitely go fries. I promise you. They're
Hold
just
on,
like incorrect. It's not just like an opinion thing. They're wrong. They are like
Damn it, I don't have my
especially
20-cent
at
die.
Popeyes.
I have
Also,
a
when you get the
spin-down
biscuit,
die.
the biscuit lets you like take the stuff off the side of the mashed potato container. You get the gravy all on the biscuit.
Popeyes biscuits is
You're in
Oh my
business.
God,
crazy,
making
bro.
me hungry.
I love Popeyes biscuits, even though
You
Okay,
love
gravy it is.
these
They kill
dry
you.
Gravy it is.
bricks.
they kill you, but
That's why you need the mashed potato. See, I'm not lying to you,
I need
Razor.
I
You
need
see,
the
they're
Pepsi.
wrong already.
I need the
Ah.
Pepsi.
Are you
with
going? Oh, wait a minute. This is a black ass conversation right now. Are we going tenders or like chicken? Are we going bone in? What are we doing?
I'm getting spicy. I'm getting the spicy Popeye chicken.
Okay,
sandwich.
No, 3-piece.
That
Oh,
barely
okay.
answered the question, but
that's
yeah.
a good. Yeah, we're going bone in. I
Look at
think.
one third
Yeah,
of the
bone in.
question.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
It's
not
gonna
mad
be
at that. That's a
spicy
good
chicken.
decision.
This is Popeyes. Of course, it's spicy chicken. What kind of spicy chicken?
I don't do spicy.
Yeah, I don't do spicy
Pussy.
either.
I like.
Pussy.
I enjoy
No,
spice.
he's-
I hate hot sauce, but I think I hate hot sauce because of vinegar. Because it's vinegar based. I don't think it's the heat. Because I enjoy spicy.
So
food.
you eat like
There
the
are other
Indian.
kinds of hot sauce, like Tabasco is basically vinegar, but like there are
I
other hot
usually get-
sauces.
I usually get. I have like Topo Chico. Not Topo Chico.
Tomatillo.
Topatillo. Thank you. I mean, if I can say that. God damn it. I work
Cholula
so
is
cold.
banging, especially on eggs.
I usually get Tapatio or Crystal. Those are my two favorites in hot sauce.
They're both very vinegary.
Have y'all watched
Try Cholula.
Have y'all watched Dune 2?
Yeah,
No.
I did.
I haven't
What-
seen
what is
Dune
that?
in general.
I never heard of
Dune
it.
2.
Oh, Dune
Zendaya,
2.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
Dune Part 2.
I ain't seen Dune.
I don't
in
go to
sh-
the
in
movies,
general.
but I did go to
What's-
see Cocaine
what's the-
Bear.
I was gonna say, what's the latest piece of media you consume? But you talking about you don't see movies.
No, I don't go to the
Uh,
movies. I watch movies. I don't go to the movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the last
Prime's the
time
same way.
I-
I don't
Yo,
know.
do you go on dates
Last
at all?
time I
I would
went
go-
to the movie.
You don't date.
Hey,
Oh no,
Well,
he's
he's
asexual.
asexual.
Yeah,
He's
let's talk
asexual, but
about
not aromantic, right?
Pretty aromantic, but I still try. Like I know what I'm supposed to be doing if I am in a relationship.
Like he
It's
Arrow-
not
just,
like I want to. It's just because if I don't do this, this
He knows he's,
relationship will end.
what kind
So
of
she's like my buddy. She's like-
Wait,
so you
what,
just basically
what
want to
are
be
you-
friends, and she
what
wants
are you
to date.
trying for then?
To maintain a
Nothing, really.
relationship, which the
What
last
do you-
one lasted 8 years.
But why are you doing it if you're aromantic?
'Cause I think he likes having someone
Why
around.
not?
But I don't know if it's necessarily
Yeah.
romantic attraction. Maybe it's like
I
a
was gonna say,
close
why not
friend.
just do a
Platonic.
friendship?
Yeah, platonic.
'Cause they want his
That's
dick.
what it kind of feels like, but yeah, eventually.
Oh, so
You got too
you're
much
like
juice.
you're like 99% asexual, right?
I just
No,
never
100%.
really think like literally I would go months and not even think like, oh, we haven't fucked.
Right, but you want it at least once in 8 years?
I don't care.
Yeah, he just. I
Okay.
think he just satisfies his partner. He just does it for them.
So you don't want to have sex,
Well, it is in my
but you
chat.
kind of want a romantic relationship?
No, I'd rather not be in a relationship, but just when
Yeah.
you're
I'm
like
not-
when there's a girl that wants to be around you like that and it starts moving in that direction, you just kind of end up there.
Imagine
So against your will, against your back.
so like on,
Not really
on
against Will.
being
I guess it's his preference.
asexual who
He's having
hasn't
a
had a
relationship.
date in like forever, right? And then you got your asexual friend. It's like, oh yeah, man, I got women all over me, and it's a bit of annoyance. And
It seriously
it don't feel-
is.
It don't feel
Okay.
good. It don't feel
So
good.
like
man.
my homegirl hooked me up with a girl that was from her job,
Oh,
and
did she?
you know I started talking to her for a minute, and I'm like, I hope she ghosts me, and then she eventually ghosted me. I was like, ooh, I was feeling like the dog that caught
That's
the
how,
dog.
no, but Bam does that
Why,
too.
why
I
talk
do
to
it
her?
all the time.
Yeah,
Because my
but-
friend was my friend really wanted me to talk to her, so I was
Yeah.
like, okay, fine, I will.
But like but your friend doesn't recognize that you're asexual.
He's still a nice guy.
They don't care. They
Yeah.
don't care.
Oh, I can change him. Hey, this how
Exactly.
niggas talk. This how niggas talk to lesbians.
So that brings up a question. So you're ace, but you're like straight ace, right? Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird, but that's the thing. Like it's like, oh, I'm ace, but I guess I would have a girlfriend, but I don't think I would have a boyfriend.
I wouldn't care.
Oh, really? Okay.
No.
Oh, okay. So it's all just like
That goes out
Because-
there.
buddies.
That's a
with
good
dudes-
clarification.
Like I got a hetero life mate. That's my boy. Like he and I are like eye to
You
eye.
got a who?
A hetero life mate.
mate.
That's your boy?
That's my homie. Like he's
A hetero life mate, but that's your
Yeah.
That'd be
boy.
homo life mate, but
my
same difference.
homeboy.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
okay,
word.
okay.
It's just
He's
saying y'all
hetero.
close. Yeah.
He's hetero.
We're both
Okay,
hetero.
okay.
But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Down.
if it moved the way it does, like with women that are in that like same headspace with me, then it probably would have turned into a relationship like that. It just doesn't. Just naturally does not.
Yeah, because they're hetero too.
Yeah.
They're
I've
straight.
always said if I was gay, I'd probably date my best friend, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's kind of what it would be.
That's a Morehouse ass answer. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I mean,
what do you mean? How do you
I've
know your
said that
type?
before I went to
How do
Morehouse.
you know your gay type?
No, what do you mean? How right now?
How do you know
I mean,
your type? Your
obviously-
gay
No, I'm saying
type?
because because we
if
get
I
along
was
so
gay.
well as friends. I would imagine it would just if I was
Exactly. It just would
I mean,
click.
I've
Nah.
constantly stated at this point that the majority of my friend group are females, so me saying that is not that big of a deal.
Do you want to know? Dream wants bears, right? That's his gay type. I know, right? Like he's into the bigger, the hairier, the more musclier. That's his type.
Me.
That's his gay type. But they've got to surpass him, right? If they can't
You actually
wrestle
bring
him
up a good
down,
point. If I
then-
was gay, would I want femme or masks? It's a great question.
Hmm.
I'll take femboys.
If I'm gay, why would I want a woman? You know, why would I want something close to a woman? You actually, yeah, you're right.
But I think a lot of gay dudes do.
Huh.
I think a lot of gay dudes like fem it up.
That's
Just
why. Have you
throw a
ever seen
dick on
like
it.
two super feminine girls date each other? That is the weirdest thing to me.
It's
have,
more
yeah.
common now than it used to be. But
Yeah.
I think now it's becoming more the norm. Like every girl that tells you she's bi now, like typically, like it used to be like, oh, like they like studs, but now like the bi girls like girly girls.
My girl's bi. She likes girly girls. for sure.
the amount of art from the artists that I follow, that's just basically lesbian porn.
I think that
Fury.
and I'm talking my ass. I'm a heterosexual man, so like I've just put
You
that out
always
there,
do, right? As a heterosexual man does. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like from my observations, these are just my observations. It seems that like bisexual women tend to be into like feminine women, right? But when you're in like the actual lesbian world, then like all bets are off there. And I was talking to a woman, right? I was talking to a woman, and she's femme, and so she was letting me know about like the gay lifestyle, because she says she's gay, right? Though she like apparently like took some time to get there, whatever, right? But anyway, she said she identifies as gay now, and she says like it's really hard for two feminine women to like meet and get together because they're always waiting for someone to take the lead, right? And heterosexual relationships is not a problem, but she was saying like in terms of the dating apps, she's like, well, you'll start a conversation, right? And then like, hey, how are you? And they'll like throw a few things back at each other, but like no one takes the lead and just
Nobody wants to pay for the date.
Yeah,
that's like, if you want to talk about it, nobody wants to pay for the first date because if you ask, then you like put on the hook now.
The first date is even more difficult. It's like, where do you want to eat? I don't know what I want to eat. What do you want to eat? I don't know what I want to eat.
There's no resolution.
I feel like
there's no
they
man
starve
at the
in
end to
2
get like
days.
real fucking pissed and then like, all right, fine, this is where great.
That would
Sorry,
be
James,
actually
go
a
ahead.
hilarious short movie film about like if all the men disappeared for like and then like all the women starve in 2 days because nobody knows what to eat. I don't know.
Oh my
Everyone
gosh.
died.
I forced my girl to tell me a place.
It needs to be like done. in
You
good
have to
taste
force
or
it
else
because they're
you
not
will
going to just
attack
say
you.
it.
It's unbelievable. No, but it's seriously unbelievable when you like and you're in that position. I remember I was like the first time I was in that position because I had heard about that, right? I had heard about this, but like it was always a joke. But when I was actually like in that position with my girl, and I'm like, where do you want to go? Like, I don't know. Anywhere is fine. Okay, what about this
No,
place?
it's not.
No, I don't want to go there. I'm like, what the like, is this, are you for real?
So I must be the luckiest person in the fucking world because with my girl,
You
the
absolutely
most that
are.
happen, the most that ends up happening is she'll ask me what it is I want to eat, and I'm not picky at all. I will eat anything so long as I can put it in my mouth, chew, swallow, and it
You
tastes
just-
good.
Yo,
Oh.
but
Pause.
Phrasing.
that was neutral, and even he caught that one.
But he also
Yeah.
doesn't know what he wants as sides at Popeyes. But
He said
will
anything.
eat anything.
I had to pick one. I had to pick one. But I wanted all of them, but I could only pick one. I had to say that. So beside the point. But whenever I would say like I want to have this, before I even fully say I usually ask her. I usually ask for her choice on that, and the I don't know, and the I really don't know is she just really doesn't know. I say what I want. I say like, well, I want to go here. Do you want to do that? She's like, yeah, that sounds amazing. It's I've never had to deal with I don't know. No, not that. It's almost immediate.
Well, the thing is, the reality is, women who there's like 98% of women who say they want to be submissive, and what they actually mean is, I don't want responsibility for using my brain. Like there's like 2% of submissive women that are like, okay, you're gonna
don't want to work, bro.
and you're gonna give me head for the next 45 minutes. You're gonna give me head for an hour. Like that's a submissive woman. Like that's a like yes, like I want your command. But these other girls, they're like, oh, I'm submissive. They're like, I actually don't want to get on top during
Can
sex.
we talk about
and
something like that?
I don't want to like make decisions. I'm a submissive.
Hold on.
Why is it
Starlight in my chat? Is that true? Tell me if that's true.
Okay.
She's in my chat.
Okay.
Dream.
I have a question. My question is I wonder about why it is either trendy or the majority or at least a plurality of women that love sexual dominance, like to be on the receiving end of sexual dominance.
They don't actually.
It's a plurality.
They just say it. They don't actually mean it. They might be cool with a little bit of choking, but again, they just don't want to have to take the responsibility for if the sex goes good.
And
or bad.
remember, choking doesn't mean crushing the pipe.
Because the reality is kind of men
sexual dominance don't mean like beat the fuck out of her, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ron just got rated.
I'm just saying that like.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just saying that like like a little neck play, like they like choke me a little bit, but again, they're not actually into like sexual dominance.
Not like TV,
but
unless they are very specifically part of the BDSM community.
But you're talking about physical, which I'm not necessarily talking about physically. I'm talking about verbally as well.
Yeah. So
same thing.
Just like ordering
That's
food,
not
they
true.
will not say what they want, at least not vocally.
So
I called her a bitch, a whore. And she's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Hey,
that's a little off for black women." I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
And she said, Am I crazy for liking that?" And I said, "Yeah." Kinda.
So I had a black girlfriend, and like she would ask me like, "Oh, I want you to bully me, right? I wanted you to be like dominant and like take control and bully me." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure, right?"
Give me your lunch money.
You give me your lunch money.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
your dad's
dead.
Oh, your dad's dead.
I would do these things, right? But like she would get upset like every time. Like I remember like what I would do, right?
I can't believe you said that.
I would like so like my ex-girlfriend was like a very sexual person, right? But she didn't like being sexual in public, and so I would like we went in the line, I'd like be filling her up, right? Or like like sliding my hands like under her shirt, right? Like in public.
Oh yeah, I don't think most girls like that. I don't think she's unique there. I think you're the wild one.
But I'm saying no, but she like would want me to push her to do things, right? Like, and she was like push me to do things, and I would push her to do things, and she's like she didn't like it. And then I'd be like, okay, well then do this, right? Here's a command, right? And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, well. And I would just give up, right? Because I don't give a fuck, right? Like I was just like whatever, right? It's not like my thing. So like, all right, well I give up now. And then she get upset at me. Like I don't know what you do. I don't know what to do.
I think that's part of the culture, Prime. Like we coddled women so much, they want all the answers to be on one side and just say yes, no, yes, no.
I think for her, I mean, I don't know the girl from Can of Paint, but I think potentially, like, I think that there's a way you could have framed it, like, even if she didn't want to do it, I think there's a sexy way that you could have like made her do it anyways, and she wouldn't have liked it, but she would have liked it.
Explain.
What the fuck?
Explain.
Yeah, it's kind of
But
like
I don't want to do that. Did I ask if you want to do that?
yeah,
Do
it's
it.
kind of like, and then she's like, oh god, I can't believe he's doing this. But like deep down, like in like her internal, like in the core of her brain, she's like, this is kind of hot, like for some odd reason. It's kind of like why girls like the consent non-consent thing. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't actually want to be sexually assaulted,
Yeah.
but I do kind of want to say no and him keep going.
Consensual non-consent.
Yeah.
That's what he just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I misheard that.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I remember talking to another woman and she said like the reason why like rape fantasies are not so popular is that like so many women like don't feel in control of their own sexuality, right? Don't feel like they can direct it.
What does that
and so
mean,
they feel
though?
guilty about hold on, let me tell you. They feel guilty about it. And so like the rape fantasies or someone else they can imagine someone else taking control, right? The things that they want to happen, like someone else will do that for them rather than them having
Have to say
to take that step, right? They're discouraged from being sexual creatures, and so someone else is taking that choice away from them, and now they're a sexual creature all of a sudden, the way they want to be.
Yeah, I could see that. So it's like, yeah, I don't want your consent. Like, take my say away, but actually do all the things deep down I want to do. Don't
Yeah,
do things I
exactly.
don't want to do.
Yeah.
But like somehow just know
Yeah.
the exact things I want to happen.
The
We're
rape
always somehow
fantasies-
just supposed to know.
There's a
the rape
like, there's
fantasies
a-
aren't like rape in how that goes in real life, right? It's like rape meaning I'm not saying yes to it, right? But you're mind reading me and like all the things I wanted to go down, the whole list, the whole repertoire, you're just doing it, you know? Yeah.
within the BDSM culture, communication is key. If you don't have communication, everything like that will fall away immediately.
Well, I
You
think
need
that's
to be
true
able
for all
to have it
sex.
all the
Yeah,
time.
but women's
No,
form of
true,
communication is like, well, I looked at you a certain way. You're supposed to know exactly what I wanted you to do. You were supposed to hit on me, or you were supposed to take me to dinner because I gave you that look, but you didn't notice the look, so it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an issue with dating.
Unless you're like super attractive. Like
Oh boy.
no, I think it's
There's
like
a reason,
it's
I didn't
weird
date
watching
that. I kept having to turn everyone down.
did you see crap? What is it? Well, there was a recent AMP skit that they were like it was called like Love Doctor, and they were helping these dudes that were all like conventionally unattractive, like, and they were like trying to have them go through dating with like really attractive girls. Obviously, none of it was actually going to turn anything. It was all for content, but like they were still making conversation and telling them what to say. And like this one dude was like going like bar for bar. He was saying exactly what they told him to. And this girl was like giving him like no energy. And then he was like, oh, do you just not find him attractive? She's like, no, that's not it. I'm communicating. We're doing normal. So then they was like, send in the big drop. They call the dude Duke Dennis. And, yeah, and then Duke went in and said the same questions word for word. And she was like, okay, let me tell you all these things. And it was like, and everybody was backstage, like basically like, oh, F her.
To the YouTube audience, right? There's a guy, or sorry, a person, excuse me. Brady O Activity, who asked, "Are you bisexual, Prime? I've always thought you might be. No offense, I'm bisexual. That person is bisexual. So definitely don't mean anything bad by that comment. And no. So the answer is no. Not at all. All right.
He's a pussy man.
I had to.
So I
He's Haitian. He can't. It's illegal.
it's probably illegal there. Yeah. So no. Answer is no. The simple answer, no, not all. Straight. Very straight.
Like a ruler.
So when you were talking about like the women who like to be apparently like to be treated badly, quotations on that one. It instantly reminded me of an anime, unfortunately.
What's the name of it?
Oh, which one?
Hensuki, are you willing to fall in love with a pervert even if she's a cutie? The entire premise is that the popular girl in school likes to be treated like a dog, and she tells the person she's in love with to treat her like a dog.
That
Depends.
title
So
doesn't make
perverted.
sense. That title doesn't make sense for one reason. Even if she's a cutie, you mean especially if she's a cutie?
No, even if she's a cutie.
Say the title again.
Hensuki, or I'm literally reading it. Reading it. Hensuki, are you willing to fall in love with a pervert, even if she's a cutie?
Are you
Well,
willing?
I read
Yeah,
it up. It said-
especially
mine
makes more
says
sense.
as long as she's a cutie,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
As long as it
that's
makes
another-
more
but
sense.
that could be a different translation. I looked it up.
Yeah,
when you were saying it.
translations can be weird too.
Yeah,
Are you
even
willing
if
to
does
fall
not
in
make
love
sense.
with a pervert as long as she's a cutie?
I don't know.
The entire premise is about a very attractive woman who just wants to be treated.
The answer is yes. I don't know. It's like not much of a question, right? Oh, you mean a hottie who wants to do some weird shit? Okay, all right. She's into me.
I think you got
that's
limits
all.
on that.
No,
I think you got limits on that in
Exactly.
real life.
Of course you do.
Feel free
Of
to
course you
look at
do.
that anime and feel free to look at the anime and watch it and understand what
Are
exactly.
you?
how far
I
she goes.
just
Are you
found
down
out.
for dog play, Prime? Dog play?
I
You
just
down
found
for that?
out.
Pet
Yeah,
play is the term.
I do it 100%. But I just found out over like was it in the last 24 hours? Was it what the term? Don't look it up. Hard sports mean. I hadn't heard that term before.
Oh, I haven't heard that one either. I have to look
I,
it up.
th-
now.
I think I
you
know what it
don't.
is. I think
Why
Is
do you?
this-
Why do you?
I'm probably gonna
say
get put on a
things?
list.
It's scat play, isn't it?
It's
Pretty sure.
I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
it's
I mean, it
scat
made
play.
sense. It wasn't water
Right back.
sports, but I assumed that's what it was. but I
Anything
couldn't
having to do
Yeah.
with sports is
And-
just yeah.
and so but anyway, the point the reason I bring it up is like you're asking about
yeah.
limits. Yeah, that'd be a limit. I don't care how high you are. I'm not playing with poop with you. Like it's okay.
Even Michelle Obama.
But like outside of that,
Especially
right?
Michelle
Outside
Obama, I
of
would lose all
or puke
respect.
play. I don't like also like puke. Ugh, like there's some. Ugh, I don't deal with that. Sorry, no. Outside of some very thin things, yeah, I'd be willing to entertain a lot of like weird shit for like an extremely attractive woman. Like whatever, sure, why not?
Okay, what if the girl you were into was like, oh yeah, she's like really sexual, like we have great chemistry, all these things, but whenever let's say she's like coming to your parents' house to visit for a weekend, and she like wants to like y'all staying together, she wants to like piss in the bed with you, like
In
she's like,
in the
"Yeah."
bed.
in the bed, like why sports, like let's do it right here in the bed in your parents' house.
not in
In
my
it, Prom.
not in
Nah.
my
In the bed right
We
behind
have-
you.
Bro,
That
do you know how
bed.
expensive that would be over
Nah.
time? How many mattresses
got-
you have to replace? Them things ain't
No,
cheap.
we got tarps
Well-
at home. Wait till we get home.
I'm about to say, well, I mean, first of all, the girl I'm messing with is like a crazy squirter, which is pee. I don't care what you say.
It's not
urine.
pee. Oh my god.
It is not.
It is.
It's
It is
pee.
absolutely
It's
not.
partially
not.
pee.
It's
It's
mixed
partially.
already-
It's
it's-
partially.
It can partially be, but that ain't all of it.
It has components
She has a
of,
pissy
of
pussy.
urine, right? But it's not urine. It's like
like 80% urine.
it's not 80%. No, I literally looked it up. I literally looked up the components, and
I can show
it's
you the
not
studies.
pee. It's okay.
There's, like
whatever.
women don't have
I mean,
another
maybe
hole.
your girlfriend is pissing on you, and I accept that, and I accept that you're into that. But I'm saying that the actual squirt is not pee.
No, I'm just saying that like they've done like research on this. Women don't have a
and
separate
I
hole.
looked at that research,
comes
and
out
you're
of the-
wrong.
It's a gland. It's a
Yeah.
Skene's gland, and
Yeah.
it's not pee.
It's not pee.
How much percentage is
She's
it?
peeing on you, maybe.
No, there's all it's
Prime,
fluid.
Prime.
It's
Since you've looked at it, how much percentage is the pee?
I don't have it. Yes, I looked at it and then I memorized this. I will have to look it up again. This is a few years ago. We had a debate on the channel. We had a debate on the channel about exactly this. It was an open panel. And it got that got heated. It got super
the
heated.
conclusion. The data presented based on ultra graphic bladder monitoring and biochemical analysis indicates that squirting is essentially the involuntary emission of urine during sexual
It
activity.
is not. That's not. What
Although
it
a
is.
marginal contribution of prosthetic secretions can also be included.
I gotta look it
But
up.
a girl
again.
that doesn't have to pee can't squirt.
doesn't have to pee. Can't. Oh,
Like your
is it-
bladder, her bladder's full when she's squirting.
I forget the science on that part specifically, so I won't say anything on that part. But I look it
You
up.
heard him, Star.
But anyway, sorry. What was your point? What was your overall point that you were trying to get to?
Yeah, the point I was making is like Kyle was talking about like that's too many mattresses and things. They have like waterproof mattress covers you can.
Yeah, but you said at your parents' house, so you don't have that.
Yeah,
unless you're bringing it with you.
No, but I'm saying, but yeah, this like you said, you could put up with it. Like your girl just wants to get it in your bed, piss all over you.
If she has the material, right, like no,
you're crazy.
We're in the moment.
I'm sorry. Like but there's also like I don't know. No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're trying to get me on, but like, I mean, is she like okay? If she gonna pay for the bed, right? If she gonna pay for the bed, then okay. Then I guess you can pee on the bed, right? Like do your worst to the bed. But I'm not paying for the fucking bed. That's not involved in all this. Is that not? Like,
you're gonna get exiled by your parents.
If her fetish is that I'm a pay pig, then I'm sorry. Then that's also a fetish that I'm not going to.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I didn't want to say something. Like I wanted to put it to something that's like you could be okay with sometime, but like not having like situational awareness. That's what I'm saying. Like because for me, I couldn't have sex in my in the presence of like my parents or grandparents.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Fin dom was the term you were looking for, Prime.
No.
Wait, you would never have sex? What about your mom?
Yeah, no, not my mom. Like at my mom's house, because I've been in plenty of situations like that. Like girls, like, and they're like, "Oh, let's." I'm like, "Nah, not my mom's house." I'm not even turned on. Like my dick is just not there.
Work.
Why? Yeah. I fuck all the time. My mom in that room.
Yeah, that's wild. Different band.
It's all crazy.
I just don't want to do it.
But I have to be silent. I have to be.
Maybe
it's a taboo thing. Sometimes people get off to the idea of like, oh, what if we're caught?
My mom's listening.
I can make out.
It's not taboo at all.
Yeah, I could kiss. Yeah.
It's not a taboo thing with me. I just want to have sex, and I have to do it quietly.
And that's the other thing. I don't think I enjoy quiet sex. I think that's the other part of it.
Oh yeah,
if I'm gonna do it, like I know some people like do it through the whole. I'm like, actually, let's get naked. Let's do it. If we're gonna do this. I think that's also why I'm not in the public play like that. Like I'm like, it's not really that. I don't want to do like
exhibition.
Halfway.
It's so scary, bro. I did it once. It was the scariest thing in my life, bro. Oh my god. Because as soon as I finished, somebody came, like walked by.
Yeah, someone else came.
Somebody came. When I came, somebody came.
So I was so scared.
His nut. He nuts and it's
that's what Drew's face is like when he lies. When he like lies to his parents, he goes up.
I mean, like, could you what would you do? Like, you say, like, oh, I do it all the time. My mom's here. Like, what would you do if, like, for whatever reason, maybe she got her headphones in, your mom walks in the room.
Yeah, that's why I locked the door.
Just dick out, like you like, oh.
I locked the door.
I locked the door. Yeah.
I couldn't have her hearing it. Like, I would just feel.
That's why I'm quiet.
Sounds like a Ben Stiller movie. This is horrible.
That's why you either have a ball gag or you come.
Huh?
There you go.
This thing is crazy, bro.
I don't do ball gag and make things quieter.
Yeah, ball gag. Put hand over the mouth. Make her bite down on the pillow.
Yeah, or you put a pillow over her face and just like keep it there for a while. And
it's less about the voice.
I said bite down on the pillow.
First she screams, then she gets real quiet.
It's less about. First of all, you put the TV up high. That's number one. Put the TV on high.
Go Power Rangers.
Worse.
My grandmother kicked the door in just for the TV, even if we're doing nothing. You better cut that damn TV down.
Yo, TV too loud. You're running up my electric bill.
All right, man. I'm apologize.
That's why you gotta pay for this shit. I pay for the shit here.
And the other thing is like walking in and just the after smell of sex, like just sex in this room.
I don't know what the smell of sex is. I've never understood that. I really don't know what that is.
You don't know if somebody did it. I'm about to say, if you use the condom, you smell a little latex.
Yeah.
You smell a little
the smell
vagina.
of sex is just sweat.
I've smelled like vaginas because they can be fragrant. So fair enough, right? If that's what they can, right? But
what a way to say that.
But if that's what you mean, then okay. But like in terms of
mixed with
like
that.
anything else, like does sperm smell? Like I think healthy sperm doesn't smell, right?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, sperm smell depends on your diet. It smells differently.
Maybe, I don't know, but I have my sperm, at least as
The
far as I
reason
can
why
tell.
hentai are hardest.
I gotta
to draw
ask other
using
people.
is
I'll send some to Dream, and he'll give me
I
a
can
second weight on
guarantee.
that.
I can guarantee your sperm smells. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Sperm definitely smells. It's got
You're gonna get a
I was about to
vial,
say,
and you'll tell me.
It doesn't
okay?
smell bad. It just smells.
yeah, like you could. I like. Okay, the other thing with that is when you're talking about like vaginas have a scent. Am I crazy
They're not
or
supposed to, bro.
Oh
well?
no, they are.
No, well, it depends on the girl.
My pussy
Like,
don't
yeah.
smell.
Yeah, the girl I'm with now doesn't have any scent at all. But I've been with other girls that like do have like scents, and it's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
bad. It's just like okay, like
Like
it
tangy.
smells like
It's
vagina.
tangy.
Not even necessarily. Some have that, but some don't. Like smell doesn't necessarily coincide with taste. But the other thing I was gonna say is like talking about like the smell of vagina. Am I crazy? Or can you like smell when your girl is turned on? Because I can always like I can tell of like okay, this girl's feeling me.
I know what you're talking about.
I can
Like because she's
I
starting to
can
get
feel
wet
it.
and like you can
I know
just
what you're
like
talking about. Yeah, you just smelled it.
I can never.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just
really.
can't.
You
I
know?
can usually just see it. And I can't smell no, but see, yes.
I mean, yeah. There's like if a girl wants you to know,
Duh,
she
nigga, you
can-
can see that shit.
yeah. If a girl wants you to know she's like into you, then yeah. But I can tell like even if a girl doesn't want me to know, like, and then
Oh.
she like I'm like, oh yeah, she wants it right now. And then either I make a move or if I don't feel like making a move, she'll tell me later, like, oh God, I was so wet. I was like, I knew it. Like I could. Who's in the air?
I mean, it might be just me.
Just so-
But I there's no way I
Suppose
can
have some
ever.
kind of sense
And
of how the
unless
body
she's like
works, so-
super fragrant. I mean, like
Nah, it doesn't gotta be strong. It's like
Bam's sense of smell is so good. He could smell when Letha you want to have sex.
No, I do have a really good sense of smell though, but it's probably just growing up in the country. Like we just smell for a lot of stuff. We smell when it's gonna rain. We smell for
That's such a.
It's probably,
No,
probably
That
no,
the
is such a
years-
lie, bro.
Probably
No,
the
you can-
years of
you
eating.
can absolutely smell weather.
Oh, yeah.
Smell the weather.
yeah, the rain. I
Oh,
can smell
entirely,
rain.
yeah.
You can smell when it's raining, but
No,
not
you can smell,
predictably
you can
before
smell
it's
when it's
coming.
going to. Yeah,
Yeah, before.
You can predictably smell rain.
yeah, with
Yes.
pretty high certainty.
Yes.
Like not 100%, but like I can wake up and I walk out in the
Like, if
morning
you look
and I'm
at-
like,
like if
I was
you
like,
look at
but
the
even before I
clouds-
see that there, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be
That's a term
freaking
people
rain
say.
today.
It smells like rain. Yeah, it's like smells
Yeah.
like it's going to rain. Yeah, 100%.
in-
You can
Although
do that.
the
We do the same
after
thing with
effect of
animals.
rain
Like
definitely
that,
smell better,
'cause I grew up on a farm. Like you can have a smell of like if an animal's like unhealthy.
Hmm.
Can you also sniff out cancer?
I don't know, but I feel like you should be able to. But I ain't never been
And
around.
apparently, some animals can.
You know what I
yeah.
smell for 100%? I always smell some bitch in here.
It smell like bitch in
You're the
here.
only one in the room.
It always
Why
smells
you
like
got
bitch in here.
necklace? Why you got so much necklace? Loiter Squad. I'm about to say that was one of the funniest skits on Loiter Squad, and I
It
wasn't
was
even a
good.
big fan of it.
I never heard of that one, but
You never heard of Loiter Squad? I feel like it would be up your alley as far as
It's like the
TV
black
shows.
version of Jackass with Tyler the Creator.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
That's not really up my alley.
I'll send you a clip. You'll think
It
it's
does
hilarious.
look like it would be Prime's alley. It does look like that.
Yeah, I'm not really like Jackass was like okay, but yeah. not really my
It's,
thing.
I mean, I understand why he said Jackass, but it's not really.
It's not really Jackass.
It's just like skit comedy,
It's a comedy skit show. Yeah, super satirical.
but like low budget. It's like
Very
they.
low budget.
It's like after.
What's that nigga name that has his own TV show? Curly
Vince
head,
Bezos.
light skinned nigga.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Golly, he was on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Eric Andre?
The Andrew
Eric Andre.
the Eric
Yeah.
Andre show.
Yeah, it
Um,
feels like that. Too.
Hey, Spaniard. Thanks for being here. I'm not sure when you sent this message, but they say, "Hey, how are you? I heard you spoke about me a few days
Spaniard
ago.
thinks Mexicans is a
I
race.
miss you too. I haven't been able to come to an open panel due to being a daddy. My 12-month-old, my 12-month-old, needs super attention, because he's learning to walk. Oh, all right. Well,
Imagine saying 12 months old instead of 1-year-old, bro.
You're probably getting a habit of like months when you're going. You know what I'm saying? You've been saying months for months, so now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably like a change habit.
Spaniard, yeah, I did.
I've met people who introduce their babies like, "This is my 16-month-old." Like,
That makes sense.
Oh, one
Once
second,
you get
hang
past
on.
12, it ain't months anymore.
Oh my god. Spaniard, I'm not sure if you're still here. But yeah, I think I mentioned you on Monday. Because like someone sent you a sub, one of our kind people. Maybe it was Razor or Bam. Because they were kindly helping us out on Monday, and I saw your name there, and I was like, oh, I'm sad that we haven't seen you in a long time. But I do hope you're doing well, and it sounds like you and your family are. So shout out to you. If you're still here, I'm not sure. Starlight says come for 26 cents. Indeed.
damn it.
Agreed. Come. That's what
Smell it.
that's what I that's what I do. When I also walk in rooms, right, and just say come. And leave. and slowly back out while closing the door. Right?
Do not come. Do not come. I'm gonna come.
Starlight. Starlight. No dinner. How dare you? Don't you dare.
Whoa, he's
Dinner
laying
for
the
you.
law down.
Oh
He's
man.
laying the law down.
That's
Uh,
it.
How dare.
I hear you. I
um,
wonder. I wonder what the I wonder white women having saying the quiet part out loud about how they feel about dating niggas.
You
about
talking
dating
level-
what?
Like, do
Negroes.
I feel like white women when they date black men, like I feel like they feel like you get like in the inherent bad boy aesthetic just from being black, like regardless of what else you do. It's like wow, like he's black. Like,
Well, that wasn't the reason mine
I bet
started
he's gonna
dating
have
me,
a huge
so
dick
whatever.
and throw me around the room. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't believe that's the reason mine's dated.
One of
me.
those things is true.
Hey. She probably wouldn't tell you though.
Huge dick, yeah.
I don't know. Like, do you guys I've talked to white women who date black men. I've never dated a white woman.
An
Before.
Albion.
Albion?
Albino?
That's what a white person is. Another name for a white person is an Albion.
Kind of like a Pokemon.
Okay, sure. It sounds exactly.
Kind of like a Eevee evolution.
Yeah,
Go,
exactly.
Albion!
100%. Yeah, I've talked to white
I just
women.
noticed my damn name.
Right.
Hold on. How do I
Still
change
one.
You still have that.
it? I haven't
I
been
remember
here
when-
since then.
It's still correct.
Oh my
still remember
god!
that shit.
Jesus
You
Christ.
never know. Some of them could be twos. You never know.
Oh my god.
I don't know, that big protruding brow kind of does something.
Yeah.
No.
My G shows up straight off the paper towel package.
But the reason I come to this perspective is from like if you have a conversation with white women who exclusively date black dudes, they always like make white men sound like, oh, they're so safe and corny and soft, like blah blah blah. So that's why I feel like all white women who date black dudes probably feel that way, like feel that black men are like the opposite of that, whether they say it out loud or not.
The ones that exclusively for sure.
So I know a woman who dates black men exclusively, and that's not. She's just saying she just says that she's not attracted to them, like at all. Like she can recognize when like a white guy is attractive, but like she doesn't feel anything for them, and she's just likes black men, like period.
I bet if you asked her like what she thinks or what's unattractive about white men, I bet you get some of those adjectives out there.
Right, exactly.
Probably get like, oh, they just feel corny. They're not as smooth. They're not as. Like,
I don't think not for this one in particular. She's built different. This one in particular, I assure you, is built different. So
Physically, or
she's not an example. Maybe like some others that might be true. I could give you that.
I don't gotta know. Why the fuck do you think I was from New York for a second? I just realized that.
I'm asking. I don't know.
Um,
Just throwing cities out there.
So Gambit, we were talking about ladies.
Gambit want to copy me so bad.
Bro, no, you copied me.
That's
I had this on
crazy.
first, bro.
Now you gotta take it
I
off.
haven't got a
JC.
hair.
Crazy.
I haven't had a haircut in like 3 weeks. I put this on this morning. You copied me.
Bald.
I put it on this morning.
Nah, bro. I put this on at like I took the kids to school at. I got up at 7:40 something.
Eastern time.
I put it on yesterday.
Eastern time.
Nah. You just sleep in it, bro.
I put it on yesterday.
It's okay that you want to copy the boy, man. It's okay. Yeah, but nah, I ain't got a haircut in forever, bro. I need to get a haircut tomorrow.
Who wouldn't want to be like?
I just got one.
Oh, I'm planning on getting this cut down so I can finally wear my fucking wigs again. Oh.
That's what Gab is worried too. He's like,
Where's the wigs, man? Wait, don't you have a wig?
Yo, when people say black people are not a monolith, this is exactly what
This is exactly it. 100%. Razor proves it. Razor, no, and I mean that in the nicest way. Razor,
you got Razor, you got.
But he does his own thing with confidence. Like he doesn't even
exactly.
Like. It's kind of. I respect that he owns it.
Yeah, 100%.
GSU and Bam are probably the closest too.
Oh, the amount of years I was bullied for being the weird kid who loved anime.
Oh my
Naruto
god,
runs, Kamehameha, shit like that, and liking cat shit when I was younger. It's all been burned out of me. If you think I have shame for the shit I like,
Phrasing with the cat shit.
Razor, I guarantee you weren't bullied for liking anime. You were probably bullied because of the weird part.
Yeah, there's the cat stuff. That's probably what the thing that did.
Well, it was also the fact that for some strange reason nobody liked communication. I would talk to people about my feelings and they would hate it. Kids hate it.
Yeah, they're fucking kids, bro.
And so was I.
Yeah,
talk about your feelings.
Who the fuck talks about their feelings as a 10-year-old?
Me.
This is
that's
the you know what? Don't feel shame for that. I would have thought it was weird too, but it's probably the correct decision. Probably should talk more.
Nah, nigga, we trying to play tag. We trying to play tag. We're trying to.
This is wild.
I was empathetic as a child. I would have been your friend. Except like the cat stuff would have freaked me out. I'm just be very real.
I didn't do the cat stuff for a lot.
What do we mean by cat stuff?
Look at his. Wait.
Look at his. Oh,
head,
you were doing that as a young kid?
The man's a furry.
I've had like the little bands that you can like wear that have the cat. I like wearing those. So occasionally.
Yeah. Ooh, if you'd have went to my school, Jesus,
who knows why he was bullied? Who knows,
bro?
Who knows why?
See, that's not a reason to bully someone, though. But okay.
Yes, it is,
It's
bro.
100%. I'm not saying you should bully a person, but it's like if you're going to list reasons why, it's definitely on there. But like, I'm not saying it's not right.
Oh man, bro. We would have been.
I've seen people get.
We would have been
less,
terrible to you, bro.
Oh no, true.
Yeah, we would have been real terrible to you. That's.
Ended up being able to be part of two different cliques when I got into high school. One of them was the furry clique, the other one was the anime clique, and then occasionally we.
Nigga, you had a furry clique in high school.
Enough furry. I don't know. That's wild. Different. I mean, kids are younger. I don't know. Maybe it's a different school. West Coast.
Oh yeah, you are younger than us, so you could have got away with that probably. But my generation, hell no.
I was raised by my now like 70-something grandmother.
You'd have been scared. We would even see that shit if you tried to sleep.
Were you a disappointment?
Basically, I was a mole trying to fit in.
Nah, bro. We were extremely homophobic. There's no way. There's no way.
It's like not a joke. It's not a joke. And like technically, the cat ears doesn't say anything about your sexuality, but that's good enough. That's like more than enough.
Nah. If somebody's wearing cat ears, they're not.
I didn't do it much. I did I did it every once in a while, but
there you go. It wouldn't have took but one time.
That's all you need.
Hold on. Question. Because
answer.
I disagree with what Prime just said.
Okay.
For sure, you're not just a heterosexual male if you're wearing cat ears. For sure.
No, you can be wear
not
cat ears.
No, I'm about to say it's some straight furries out there. As weird as it is, it's some like full on furries that are like straight.
Find me a such nigga, dog. Nah,
wait. Wouldn't furry be a heterosexual? I mean, wouldn't furry be a sexuality?
No.
So it would still agree with. Wouldn't furry be a sexuality because it would still?
You said no.
Some people are furry for non-sexual reasons, I think.
But there is a furry sexuality, no? Not every furry is a sexual.
Wait, there's
furry.
a furry sexuality?
I think there's like
There is
some people who are into like
no.
animal, like animosexuality.
Bestiality is a
No, it's like in between.
no,
It's like
stop.
humanoid animals. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
We get this right.
Hi, I'm
I
here.
don't even want to ask.
Fucking
Wait, Razor, what is it called when you're attracted to animal sex?
Dude.
He's about to tell us. He's gonna put his own
That's
game.
not
That's
That's literally
bestiality.
bestiality.
That's not a thing in the furry community.
No.
Stop.
We're talking about you've seen a
We're
cartoon.
talking about furries.
Yeah,
I
please
know what
allow
you're
me to
talking
explain.
about.
Just let him get it out. He knows he's the expert.
Razor.
Just let him get it
We're-
out. He's about to
I
tell
know.
us.
I'm asking you.
He already knows the question.
Nigga, he said it doesn't exist. I'm literally trying to explain to him.
No,
this.
he's just
He
saying that
literally
don't
said it
call them
doesn't exist.
bestialities. That's not what I'm promising you about
The
this.
way you asked that question, the answer would come from Gambit talking about bestiality. That's not what it is.
I'm asking you. Here's the
He's
question.
about to tell you.
Nigga, let me ask the question.
Let him ask the
concisely.
question.
Let me ask the question concisely. The type of sexual, the sexual attraction I'm talking about is the one that's like of animated or like figurative humanoid type of animals. Is that type of sexual
exactly
attraction? What is it called?
Yif.
Yif.
Yiff. Yif.
Okay, so Gambit's still right.
No, it's
It's
not.
not bestiality. It's a whole
No.
different thing.
I know, Gambit didn't say bestiality. He said you're not.
He did
did.
say bestiality.
Okay, but I'm talking about the other thing that he said earlier, where he said you're not just straight when you have cat ears.
That's
But
intersectionality.
everyone who's
Gambit
a furry
believe-
doesn't like that. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's just non-heterosexual. Whatever the
Saying there's
bucket
no
you want to
intersection
call that.
between heterosexual and cat ears.
No,
He's obviously being super hyperbolic.
No.
but
No,
you get
he's
what
not.
saying.
Gambit's being literal. He doesn't think he
No,
thinks that
no,
every
no.
single one of these niggas is gay or some variation.
Yes, for sure.
It's not, but
See,
okay.
that is, wait. All right. One thing that I don't understand is when I make statements like this, there's this implicit assumption when I look at y'all faces that this is something negative, but we say we don't define like the whole umbrella as negative, and I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to be descriptive. I don't think niggas that wake up and have sex with females with vaginas only exclusively for their entire lives wear cat ears. And I don't think that should be seen as like a negative statement. I'm just describing what I think heterosexual men are, and I don't think those niggas wear cat ears.
Very wrong and stupid opinion. I get it.
What's stupid about
That's
it?
the most indignant I've ever heard Razor get. That was amazing. Clip that,
Yeah.
someone.
What's so stupid about it?
Saying that because I happen to like cat ears. Although, let me go ahead and rewind a little bit, because for me personally, I would say I am bi-curious. But
Yeah.
Of course, just like everybody else that wears cat ears.
me.
Go ahead.
Damn it.
No. But I have met and am friends with furries who are purely heterosexual, and they still do the cat ear thing.
But he qualified. He said lifetime heterosexual.
Exactly. No, completely heterosexual entirely, but they're still furries.
I'm about to say
It's
it was a dude
hobby.
in the military that just
I
like he
need
retired, and he he was about to say he was like
some niggas.
and he was like,
saying
oh, yeah.
Some niggas I just have to meet before I believe they exist.
But
It's possible.
Being a furry is not a sexuality. It is a hobby.
I didn't say it was.
No,
I didn't say it was a sexuality.
People were starting to do that.
Saying, no, Razor. What he's trying to say is indicative of a sexuality, not that it's a sexuality in itself.
Yeah,
Well, no,
exactly.
Yeah.
Plus,
That's what I'm saying. I'm
no,
saying that you're
heterosexual
metro by
No,
all of those different
there are
categories
people-
of body they create. You're one of those.
because there
And-
are
Oh no, here we go
there
again.
are furries who have gone the full 9 yards of spending $10K on an amazing fursuit. They're fucking amazing. Holy shit, I want one. And they're completely heterosexual. Like they have they dress up as their persona, go to conventions with their wives.
We get
who
that,
also have
Razor.
fursuits.
What Gambit's saying is
They're
not
they
for
are
long.
completely heterosexual the entire life.
How do you know that?
They're married. to a woman.
Well, hold on, hon. We can't
That
ever know
means
that about
nothing.
anyone, right?
I live in
We'll just-
Atlanta.
dated since
Take
I
it
live in
right.
Atlanta. That shit
They
means
dated since
nothing.
high school.
No.
We can't know that about anyone, right? Like you can't, like unless you live their life. You
Yeah,
can't
unless
know.
you like watched everything they ever went
So
in.
we'll just have to assume, like, if the person says they're straight, then
Well,
just go for it, unless you have
assuming
evidence
that they had
otherwise.
some amount of gay in their amount of gay because they happen to wear cat ears is the most retarded thing I could hear someone say.
Yeah,
Nah,
don't
it's not.
It's like
What about-
you coming for his like race right now.
That's
He's
his
being
set,
racist.
man. Like he's going to defend his crew.
I think
tripping,
No, he
Gambit.
can. I'm
Hold
fine
on.
with him defending his crew. I'm just gonna defend mine too. Like that's what we.
I think
defend
Gambit-
heterosexuality. Thank you,
I
Gambit.
have
Thank you
one
for being-
amendment, Gambit. I have an amendment, Gambit. I have an amendment, Gambit,
Okay.
that would make your claim more accurate. Is
Okay.
that if you're not just straight, if you wear cat ears, you're not just straight, or you're autistic.
Nah, I'm not adding that.
How's that?
Why not?
helped?
I mean,
That's
I
more
am,
accurate.
but still.
But can't we say Razor is goated for just eating his Popeyes and catching bodies like that?
So your Popeye showed up.
Oh, did you not pay attention when I
Yeah, it was a
held the
while
bag?
ago. Yeah.
What side you get?
I'm about to say DoorDash. Just because I live in like a
Let's
good
see the
area,
mashed
DoorDash
potatoes,
takes
bro.
like 45 minutes to go to me.
Let's
Oh.
see the mashed potatoes.
You went
Damn.
with mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
He
Wise
went
man,
for the
wise
correct
wise man.
choice. Yeah.
Was it
Can I
good?
ask y'all?
Be real. Was it good?
Actually, Gambit, break the streak. You
No,
want a
I love- I
Popeyes?
love-
You get mashed potatoes or you getting the Cajun fries?
I know. I said three things. I said mashed potatoes.
I've been trying not to eat a lot of fries. I
or
would
mac
always
and
get the
cheese.
fries, but I'll
Mac
opt
and
for
cheese was the
potatoes
third
now.
one.
Mashed potatoes.
He
Yeah,
said
mashed
he would
potatoes.
usually get the
That's 'cause the fries
fries.
are
Like
better.
a
I would
civilized
get
human
the
being, Gambit
fries.
would get the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
No. I would get the fries, but I've been trying to avoid fries, and
Because
I've
they're
been
so good.
eating the mac and cheese. Yeah, the fries are the fries are the best.
It's like
for sure.
crack.
like without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I like the
For
KFC.
sure. I'm
I like
definitely
KFC
team
fries. I like KFC fries.
Hey, I want to ask y'all a question.
Mhm.
I don't like how y'all even said okay. I don't like this. All right, I'm not gonna ask.
Got it. Hold on.
I'm not gonna
This
ask.
is ready.
You have to.
What's
You
gonna
have
be
to.
another?
You
Is it
smell
gonna be
something,
another
Dream?
attack
Dream,
on
do
my
you smell
people?
something?
What's
Okay.
wrong,
Okay.
bitch?
Attack on my people?
Gambit being,
All right, I'm gonna
Gambit
ask
being a
y'all.
tease.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, I'm asking y'all. I hate how y'all have these inbuilt assumptions that I don't, and y'all are gonna take this as negative, and I don't. That's why I hate asking y'all stuff. All right, listen.
I didn't know you.
If you had a guy that lived his whole life, never had sex with men, never had a relationship with men, always had a relationship with women, and his wife pegged him consistently. Well, once, but consistently. Is that male heterosexual?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The reason being is because heterosexuality has nothing to do with the nature of the sexual act, but with whom you're having the sexual act with.
Wait a minute. Let's not. That's boring. Let's get in. Let's dig a little deeper.
No, I got
would say this is a problem.
No, I'm saying,
God
what
would
was
believe
what
in
did she
one.
peg him with? Did she peg him with like the dick? Did they
Well,
have
she
like
got
a
the mandingo,
veins
she
and
got the
balls,
horse.
or was this like a robot? Like this is specifically.
I'm just
I
saying,
don't know.
let the correct answer out. I've said the correct answer. Now let's get to the nigga answer. Let's get to the nigga answer now. We said the
Gambit doesn't
correct
know the
one.
apparati. That is.
Yeah,
It's a simple, it's a simple
The thing
answer
is-
for
Okay,
this.
hold on. No,
Gambit
I
doesn't
got-
need any of this
I got
information
you.
to make his
No,
decision.
I got
Personally,
you. No, I got you. I got
He
you.
doesn't.
Don't worry. Understand? Okay. Now, understand. Now, understand. Okay. Understand this. The male G spot is in our assholes.
Everybody says
So
that.
I think
I think that's a conspiracy. Ronald
No.
Reagan did that to make the
Really
black
not.
community gay.
Yeah.
He dropped that at the
really
same time with crack. He dropped crack, and right next to it, a sign that said the G spot is in your boot hole,
Yeah.
booty hole.
No, there's a
I
reason
mean,
why,
it's true.
why you get your prostate checked.
No,
you
but
get your
hold on,
prostate
hold on.
checked, drop your pants,
Hold
bend
on,
over,
wait.
relax.
I think everybody answered except Prime. I think Watercow, did you answer?
Oh,
Yeah,
the
he
answer
had
was
the same answer.
if there was a God, it's their fault for putting the male G spot in the asshole.
No. My question, not that I'm not going to that degenerate shit. My question.
You literally asked about getting pegged. This is a point.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No. I asked my question specific. No, I asked my question specifically because there was certain information I didn't even want to go into. But no, Waterkai and Prime.
If you want to get
Oh, God.
paid, just ask your girl.
No, because so I'm gonna explain why this is.
They're not gay.
No, I'm gonna explain why this is relevant. I could conceive of there's a guy who wears cat ears that only talks to women, and his wife is banging him. I still consider that guy non-heterosexual. I don't know what the
fact that
fuck
you would
he
know
is.
it is already the problem, but I mean, there are dudes that skeet getting a prostate exam. So, like, what are you supposed to say about that?
You
That's
could be wrong on that
disgusting.
though.
No, but hold on. I'm just wondering because I'm just wondering. Okay, everybody doesn't immediately agree with me, so there's probably some facet of non-heterosexuality that y'all call heterosexuality. So
No.
that's why I asked the question.
Well, I'm about to say I've been with to this point only 2, but I haven't done it. But I've been with 2 girls that wanted to like eat my butt.
Bro,
And
I thought you was boy.
No,
I thought you was about to say I've been with 2 girls
peg
that
me?
banged me, bro.
No.
Yeah,
no.
bro. I was like, I don't even know how to stop this.
Yeah,
Like,
no. I'm about to say, it would change the whole perspective that you see me. You had to like look back, like, wait a minute. Did I?
Yeah, like wait.
Did I know? When you think you know a nigga, no. I'm like saying, but no, I've been with 2 girls that like wanted to like, oh yeah, like what? And I'm like,
so no pants, Kyle clipped that thing you asked, Lee.
no, because and my whole reason behind it is because what, like I always said, what happens if I like it? How do I continue through life now?
You're just not
enjoying
a man
it
anymore.
more.
It's fine.
No, you
Enjoying
can't
your
ask
life
a girl
more
to do it.
fully and robustly.
No, you can't ask a girl like, hey, like she giving you head, you like, wait. Put a little finger down in this or something. Just
No,
spin on
this
it.
is
You
why-
can't do it.
No, you gotta be with a girl you love, bro. I feel like
Communication.
you gotta be with a
This
girl
is
you
why
love that
se-
loves you for you.
This
You
is
know,
why
so you done had your
needs
buddy.
more
Hold on, wait.
communication.
No.
Wait. Hold on. Waterkai and Prime never gave their answers.
No, Waterkai
I'm
did.
gonna
He just said the
force them.
same.
Because
Prime
Prime
is
is
only
just
one that did it.
smiling. So I know Prime is on my side. Because when he doesn't immediately disagree, and he just smiles with that smile. Look at his face right now. That shit right there is fuck. I agree with Gambit, and I don't know how to say this shit on stream. So I know what his answer is. Watercat, what's your answer?
If
He
you
said the
like
same.
women, you are heterosexual. It does not matter what they do to you in the bedroom.
There's a reason. There's a reason why kink and BDSM are all about communication, not about what genitals do you like.
Okay, all right. So remember that girl that I brought up earlier, right? The one who's built different. All right, so let's go
Oh
back.
shit,
to
he
her
got
for a
pegged.
second. No, I've never been pegged. So okay,
Yeah.
right? It's never happened.
Yeah.
But she told me about her, because she's foreign. Her German ex-boyfriend, and how like I forget how this went down, right? If she introduced him, I'm pretty sure she introduced him to the concept, and then he like took to it like a fish, right? And then it was like no, but we got to keep doing it, right? And she's like, all right, but wouldn't it be better if you just like went with a guy? Like I don't mind, right? It's like fine, like she's freaky, right? So she's like, I don't mind. You want to go with a guy? It's fine, right? He's like, no, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. But like, I definitely want you to fuck me in the ass again. And I can't say that person. I can't say that person is necessarily straight. Like I said, but it's easy for me to do this. It's even easier for me to tie this up because I think of sexuality as a spectrum, right? And there
He's
are
also Haitian,
more straight than others, right? And
That's super straight. Yeah, I'm super straight.
it's okay. And he is definitely further down that aisle. Now, can I? Gab was very specific in his questioning because he said like if his girlfriend is always paying him, because that was the example I had, right?
Oh no, I said one time or
one time. Sorry.
It's
all
the
it takes
same
is
to
one
me.
time for Gambit. As soon as you do
Okay,
it one
then-
time,
Yeah,
it's
one
a wrap.
drop. One drop rule, you black. Like,
Okay, then if that's the case, then I heard differently. If that's the case, then I disagree, because you could just want to explore something, right? Like,
this is a wild
because
exploration.
like Razor said, the G spot is in your butthole, and so like you might just want to like have a chance with that.
So just to throw this
just
out
briefly,
there,
have y'all seen Top 5 by the
No.
Chris Rock movie?
no.
It was terrible. I think I saw some of it or something.
So
Yeah,
that
Chris Rock
exact
is terrible.
that exact situation happened. Like she was with
To Chris Rock.
No, not the Chris Rock. The girl he was with in the movie.
I shouldn't be so happy because
It's
I
the
hate
chick
that
from
nigga.
Colombiana.
Okay.
But yeah, she was like, she said she was with some dude, and they was doing it, and then she like stuck his finger in her butt because she wanted to be nasty, she wanted to be freaky, and she like did it, and he like nutted harder than ever, but she thought it was like, oh, okay, we don't talk about it. It was a one time thing. So then she had sex again, and then like she was like giving him head, and then he like said it. He was like, stick your finger in my ass, and then she said, I went to my mama's head. She said, what one girl won't do, another she will. So she was like, am I gonna please my man? So then she did it again. And then like after that, he was like hooked every time they had sex. Like that was his go-to. Like every single time was like, oh yeah, like it started with like, oh yeah, do it while you giving head. Then she like came out the room, like went to the bathroom one time, like months later, she came out the room and Buddy was just bent over, butt naked on the bed, like ready for it, like dig straight in, like let's get to it.
Huh?
And then she was like, she kept doing it even though she wasn't liking it, and she was like, oh my goodness, like he's not gay, like he can't actually be gay, he's not actually gay. Then come to find out, like yeah, he ended up hooking up with some.
Well, I think the question isn't to ask is, I think the question and the important question in these situations is this person gay? Is this person straight? And
I'm thinking
I
about
just say
this
no.
slightly
I don't
differently.
know what we want to call that and what bracket we want to create, but it's not straight.
Because like women get two different kinds of orgasms. There's a clitoral orgasm and then there's a vaginal orgasm. A lot of women go their entire lives never get a vaginal orgasm. So if they finally got one, do you think they want to go back to never getting one again? So if a dude gets that kind of orgasm and it's like the best shit ever, why would you want to stop?
Mm-hmm. Well, what? Okay,
I mean, I don't think
what if a man likes anal?
Don't have to call themselves straight.
What if a man prefers anal?
There's nothing wrong with being non-straight. What?
No, I'm just curious. I'm saying like penetrating.
He's talking about if a man likes to f a woman's anals.
Yeah, anals.
I was responding to Watercott, not Bam. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't get down with that either, but a lot of people love it.
But I'm saying, would that be under super straight?
Annals of history.
Okay, wait a minute.
I do anal.
I think I can still consider that person straight for sure, but it is a little weird.
Why? Hold on. I gambit. Like,
I'm wondering why you even know.
No,
like, I'm just wondering.
no,
like,
okay,
do people just come
saying
to
it was
get in the butt?
Hold on.
You just said that was weird.
Let me elucidate. Yeah, it is weird, but let me elucidate. I had a best friend who talked to a guy and he didn't like vaginal sex and he only liked having anal sex. That's weird to me. So that's coloring my view of this, and that's what I'm saying is weird. But yeah.
So like I don't understand. Yeah, so I don't like. I've heard this from other people. Was it from you, Dream? Right? You don't like anal sex, right? You know what you said, Dream?
Personally don't, but I don't care about
it. Yeah. So I find it fascinating that like I get that you could prefer the vagina, right? Like I get 100% preferring that, right? It's like easier and it's like less prep, like you just get to it.
Yeah,
100%. Right?
That's mainly why.
But to say that you don't like it, like it's fascinating to me. Like I don't understand that. Like
why?
Am I gonna like a tight hole that has lubrication?
Wait. I'm not asking you in a judgmental way. I'm asking you because I feel the exact opposite way. I'm like, why do you like it? That's just weird. And you're like,
asking me
why don't you like it? That's just
I enjoy
exactly.
taboo. I have it's not even about the feeling. I just have a fascination with taboo, in general. So that's probably.
Would you fuck with stepmom?
A stepmom? No. I'm about to say, but I think
why not? That's taboo.
I think there's something like with my blackness that like crosses that out.
What if she was a white stepmom?
No, I'm just saying that like me being a black person just makes me like.
He understood you, bro. That was just bars.
But I enjoy like a lot of weird stuff. Like if a girl wants to do something that's like outside of the norm, I think that turns me on. Like generally.
So you would get pegged, bro? That's crazy.
No, I don't think I get pegged, but like I said, but that's probably due to like homophobia.
Sounds pretty taboo.
What if she wants to do snot play? You on that?
I don't know what
Nah,
that is.
bro.
Bro,
What?
you know exactly what it
bro.
is.
He
Like you
literally
heard the
just
name
made
and you know
that up.
exactly what it is.
Well,
There's
I mean,
nothing
I'm-
else to explain.
I mean, do you like
Yeah,
blow
yeah.
it in their face? Like I peed on a girl.
Can you not, please?
All right, let's go to the topic, y'all.
No,
Let's get to
no, Gabby, no.
We're-
We got a topic right here.
No,
Gabby,
We got 28
no, you brought us here. I didn't you ask a question, and now we're gonna deal with this.
what?
You don't like
Gabby,
See what
are
animals?
you,
happens-
Gabby, are
see
you
what
a
happens when
bigot?
you attack the
Are you a
furries?
bigot?
This shit happens. Don't attack furries.
Wait,
bigoted?
am I bigoted? And
God.
wait. You and Prime are both.
Straight to
I
the
don't know if
camp.
y'all
You're
asked
going
me.
straight to the
I'm
camp.
Same
asking you something
question.
different, so I'm ignoring everyone else, right? So I'm asking. So you talked
That's a
about like
callback.
not liking anal, and I don't understand like why you wouldn't like the sensation, right? Like now the logistics of it all, right? That could be obtained. I can understand that,
Like
right?
you're like, oh, it's
But,
not
like,
clean.
It's assuming squeaky clean, right? Like what about that experience don't you like?
It like viscerally triggers disgust in me, and nothing more. So there's no
Yeah.
like
That's probably
room
pretty
to
normal.
get around. That's disgusting.
This makes sense for you in particular because you have conservative leanings, right? And people who have conservative leanings like are triggered by disgust. Like like that's just the way it is, right? Like
It literally
neurotypically,
is.
they're
I'm pretty sure everyone
triggered
has
by
disgust.
and so if that's how you feel, then okay. And again, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to judge you or anything like
I
that.
really
just want
haven't
to
even thought
understand
about
your-
it more deeply than that. It's just wait, that's disgusting. Like
Yeah,
our kind don't
that's
do
a-
that.
I feel the
And then
same
it's
way,
the
and
thing
I actually think it's impossible to get that place clean. That's part of my disgust.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, the
yeah,
human
for
body
sure.
is to some degree.
Yeah,
gross.
it's all vile. The whole
Cold.
thing. Don't think
There's-
too
Yeah,
hard
but
about
that-
any part of
I don't
your
like
body. It's
anything.
vile.
There's
I don't like
just-
anything to do
There's
with poop.
acceptable disgust and
Exactly.
absolutely-
Yeah, you're just
Well, no,
you
I'm
have
not
to
saying-
decide what that is.
Plus, I don't
Fair.
think I would like the smell. I don't think I would like the smell.
Yeah,
It
that
smells
just
fine.
seems weird.
So
It
once
smells
again,
fine.
It's,
It's not-
usually skin.
it's-
Actually,
no,
but
let me
vaginal
tell you
sex
what
can
you-
actually smell weirder.
I
depending on
want
how
y'all to.
Yeah,
this is what y'all
100%.
sound like to me. Imagine I'm a non-alcoholic or a non-drinker, not non-alcoholic, a non-drinker. And you're like, no, the liquor is amazing. It tastes really good. That's what y'all sound like to me.
I am a
So you-
non-drinker. Yeah, I like
You've,
yeah, alcohol.
you've
doesn't
acquired a
convince me.
taste, and for some reason you work through it to acquire your taste. That's your preferences. That's
it's
fine.
not acquired
yes.
taste.
No, I don't even think it's
No.
acquired. I think I
Yeah.
liked it the first time. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, I had
you
to this
acquired
growth,
you
had to
acquired it on
eventually-
try one.
No, but I feel like,
You
I
just-
feel like alcohol
yeah.
is something like you're not supposed to like it first.
Yeah,
But,
acquired
like,
taste
wait.
means something specific, right? This isn't just
Wait. Oh,
like
okay.
like saying that like you like Frosted Flakes as an acquired taste. Like that wouldn't make sense, right? So like
Yeah, because it's popular.
I don't. Yeah, anal sex is popular. It's super very popular.
No, no.
Is
Actually,
it?
it's very
Nah,
popular.
nah.
Yeah, 100%.
Globally?
Oh, well,
I mean, it
I
is a
can't.
whole
I can't say
category on
globally
Pornhub.
because
I
there's all
doubt
kinds
it's
of-
popular.
there's all kinds of cultural interferences,
pretty big
right? So I
category
don't
on
know
Pornhub.
globally. I can't tell you.
Yeah, but I don't know.
who-
I'm really big. I'm down for the brown. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm
Chocolate starfish.
I like. I'm about to say,
It's
eating butt is
because
one of my
it's
favorite sexual.
Oh
like,
yeah, same here.
behavior.
here.
I can't
love
do
it.
that. I can't do that.
I eat
either.
all tight.
Y'all are wild boys.
I can't do that either, bro.
I would. I am. I accept that though. Like,
Yeah.
part of
Being
me
a
is-
wild boy isn't a good thing.
like, but no, because I'm disgusted. I tell
That
girl,
is
I'm
you.
like, yeah, I'm nasty. Like, I'm with it. I'm with it all. Like,
Not-
give me lit.
Me and Bam are on the
He's
same
sloppy.
page here.
Yeah,
right?
it's probably because
So-
we read One Piece.
You're on Demon
Boy,
Time.
pause. I need y'all to pause. Like,
Yeah.
You and Bam on the
Pause.
same page.
yeah,
We are-
pause.
we are
My
on
brother-
Demon
Is
Time
that
with
gay?
this.
Does that sound gay? I'm on the same
Yeah,
page.
I don't even think that was a
All
pause.
this-
Yeah,
How?
No,
No,
Bam
we
was like, "Yo, I'm with it. I'm freaky. I'm nasty." You like me and Bam on the same page. Like, no. Pause. Like, hey,
I don't
Yeah.
think that's
hold on.
gay.
It has to be.
I'm
Yeah,
the
they on
first
Demon
nigga to
Time.
call out an AO.
No,
I don't think
and
that's
on-
an AO.
No,
No, they on
listen.
Demon
There's
Time.
a
That's
no.
all.
Wait. This is important because there's a rule. There's like a 15-second agreement penalty zone, and you gotta wait before you can
Oh,
agree with him after he makes such.
Oh,
a
he was just too
statement. I
quick.
don't-
It was a false start.
Yeah, exactly. You
Okay.
can't just jump on. Yo, you damn right,
Me
man.
too.
Like, no, you gotta.
I'm with it.
Yeah, you gotta.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You can't say I'm too eager. I got
All
it.
right,
I
yeah,
can see it.
I'll accept. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take the
You'll
red card.
take it?
Pause.
Hey!
Pause.
Okay.
Wait a minute. It wasn't even in
bro.
relation. Okay.
No, because it's the way you said it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll take the
Yeah,
red
you can't ever
card.
say I'll take it.
I'll
That's
take
wild.
The red
That's
card.
why-
I don't know what. Sorry, I don't know how like hockey works. I was mixing up soccer. Like, there's a red card, we get a penalty. All right, and you get tossed out the game. Like, what happens in hockey? Like, when they put shit in the
I think
penalty
if somebody
box?
falls in the fight, you go to the penalty box.
Do they give you something like a card or anything, or do
I
they
don't
just say
know.
it's a box?
It's a whistle.
I think
No,
it's just a whistle.
the ref comes out and drop kicks the person they think started the fight and then drags them into the penalty box, kicks their ass, throws them in it. It's like,
I
no,
really
get
like
in there.
that was a NHL Face-Off 2001, and I love that game because you could fight on there, and I would throw hands on people, bro. Like that game was lit.
I think it's
But,
crazy that the fight doesn't end until somebody falls. I think it's crazy they just let you do it. It's like, all right, he's
Yeah.
still good. He's up.
Hey, they like, hey, if you about it, hey, go ahead. I wish all professional sports was like that.
And then your penalty is like 2 minutes. Like,
But
It was pretty
can we be
amazing.
real? Can we be
Right,
real?
Because in baseball,
Can we
it's
be
pretty
real?
balling.
Can we be real though? The only reason hockey has this level of success because of that rule. I mean, otherwise it's crazy.
I think if you go to
boring.
like Canada and like Minnesota, they
For sure.
really F with hockey. I think hockey is.
Why do
I
you think they're so
imagine
nice
hockey's a
up
pretty
there?
fun sport to watch. I don't watch it, but it's very fast paced. It's high contact. Like, it's a collision sport. Like, I could easily see hockey being popular. Like, it's just, I don't ever skates and ice.
But they
It's
don't
the only
score.
sport I
Like,
watch.
it would be like half its popularity if people didn't expect the fight to happen.
No, I think hockey's probably more interesting to watch than basketball.
It is.
You're just lying. Get this nigga
Body
out of
check-
here, bro.
Body check.
Bro,
No, I mean,
outta
if
here.
you
Come
just,
on.
like, and
what the hell
I'm
is
just
going on?
just in
I
like
don't watch sports at all.
There's
but
a
I'll
during the
score
watch
Olympics.
every 5 seconds in basketball.
no,
compare
just in
that
the
to hockey?
Olympics. But it's really fast paced though. Like, I just think it's a different level.
Bro, have you lost your? What's going on, bro?
I think the soccer's boring to
You
watch.
going through some
Soccer's
shit?
super boring. Baseball's
Hold
boring.
on, y'all. Something is going on. Ben, tell us what's happening at home, bro. What's up?
I'm not a big.
penny.
I first of all, I wrestled in high school. I stuck it
No,
back.
no, that's cool. But what's happening? What's going on?
No, I just think hockey sounds more interesting as a
Nah,
sport.
bro. Like we
It
here for you,
is.
bro.
Do you smell
Yeah.
pennies?
Was that the code word? I done broke it. Like, I'm letting you know that it's a nigga right here with a gun.
No, we here. We
Call
here for you, bro.
911. Like,
Bro,
I
you can tell us
love
what's-
hockey.
Whatever.
It's good.
That's what's happening, bro. Like something is going on, bro. Something is going on.
I only watch basketball around playoff times. I like week to
Because-
week. I actually don't enjoy basketball.
I literally haven't
I've
watched the
seen-
game since Jordan was playing.
I see. Like,
The-
just think
the
about
90s.
if we just
I watched
think
the
about
flu game. That was the last game I watched.
if we just if we think of entertainment via highlights, I guarantee you a game of hockey has way less highlights than a game of basketball.
Hockey.
Than a
I
quarter of
disagree.
basketball. I guarantee you,
Hockey.
I disagree.
just on the basis of how often you can score in hockey.
But scoring in basketball doesn't necessarily mean highlight. Like 75% of
No, I'm
basketball
saying you
scores are
have
like layups.
you have more opportunity for a highlight in basketball. You have more opportunity to.
No.
Okay, I'm just talking to idiots. My
I
bad.
mean, you got a goalie, my dude. Like, you got to get past a goalie. There's like plays going around.
Nigga,
people
the
are getting
center is the
slammed in the
goalie in
walls.
basketball.
The amount of highlights.
Plus, I don't-
center
That's
is
the
the
same.
goal.
Because if there was goaltending possible, then maybe I would agree with you.
I don't consider like scoring isn't the sign of like highlights to me.
in
Like,
basketball.
my favorite sport's
Exactly.
obviously football. Football like can or can't, like, you can have low scoring football games that are really exciting. Like, I'm a fan of defense and hockey. I think that's the other reason. Hockey is really similar to football. Only
versus
it's
the
like
Patriots,
football
the company was
and
back,
soccer on
That was a
ice.
Super low scoring game.
I
Okay.
still think football is less exciting than basketball.
I-
though.
Wait,
I-
was-
I-
Oh,
was
not even
the
close.
Rams-
It's the reason football is the most watched sport on earth. Like, well, like
I
Super Bowl
think-
is the most
I
watched.
only think it's
Was
because
it-
of the
was it
storytelling,
2021?
not because of the
Was
action.
was it 2021 that had Rams versus the Patriots, where they had the lowest scoring game in Super Bowl history?
The
I-
Rams
because I
were in the
remember-
Super Bowl in like 23, but
That one's the one they won, but they also
22.
but
no, it was 23.
yeah they
Wait,
won
wait.
the 2023.
I just noticed something. Bam, I don't think you're right. I don't think you're right about football being the most watched sport, because if we're talking about globally, the NBA is.
So I'm talking about. I would say the Super Bowl as an individual
The
event.
Super Bowl is, it's the highest
Oh,
watched. I
Super
think
Bowl,
worldwide.
sure, but that's one event
But
versus
that's like for
overall viewers.
halftime
That's
and everything
important.
else.
but
no.
there's one event in every other sport.
But think
a
about it.
series.
Okay.
But think about the Super Bowl and how they.
We talk about
I
sports
don't
for 2
wanna-
minutes.
I don't
and
know
Probably
how we
like,
got
I don't care about any of this.
I don't
I
care
think they watch the
about
Super
any
Bowl
of
because of
this.
the halftime show
I
too. And it's like
truly don't care. Let's move on.
Okay, I got. Can I bring up my like Kentucky baby thing? I feel like that was something there for like 20 minutes until we start.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, the state of Kentucky is now is probably going to pass a law that makes child support eligible for the unborn. So it doesn't mean that like you'll start getting child support like as soon as you're pregnant, but you'll basically, if the person doesn't support you during your pregnancy and the baby comes out and you like prove like, oh yeah, this is your baby, Darrell, then he owe like back child support for the 9 months, and you can apply for it for up to a year. And in Kentucky, one of the states that basically completely banned abortion, it's probably the right decision. If you're going to completely ban abortion, you probably need to increase the woman's access to resources, which I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I don't think this is too controversial. But maybe I'm wrong about that. But I think it sounds okay. I don't know if like the full 9 months, right? Like, cause like, what are your expenses in the first month and second month? You know, like, I'd be able to quibble about that. But if if the penalty is low,
well, they consider it life. They consider it, if you're in a state that legally considers it a baby at that point, then
yeah. But I'm just talking about expense. I'm not arguing about that
okay.
though. Right? I'm talking about the expenses. You know,
Mhm.
like if that's what we're paying for, then fair. But like what did you actually like? What were the actual costs in the first and second month? You know, so I think that needs to be worked out. But like if the penalties are like reasonable, then like I'm like okay with that. You know, if it's like if it's like Elon Musk, right, being a billionaire, impregnated this chick, right, and now Elon has to pay millions of dollars. You're like, wait a minute, why is her pregnancy? Like, why is her vagina like that much more expensive to uptake? You know, like there should be a reasonable cost that maybe we can calculate, and then maybe you can assist with that. Yeah.
I imagine it's probably just going to be the same as whatever their child support like number is set at, like times 9. Like if your number is like 600 a month, then it's probably just going to be 600.
That would be crazy. Now that one I would be in favor of that. I wouldn't be in favor of that because your expenses are like equal or similar to other mothers, right? Like you haven't done anything else. Like your baby, you don't have to keep a lifestyle up of a baby who is in the womb, right? It's the same fucking lifestyle. Like
it should be like from 0 months to 5. You should be like paying like 5 cents a month until then you know have to really do more for the health of the baby. What a woman got to do when they're pregnant? Like what?
There's lots of doctor's visits, lots of
doctor visits. Yeah, I pay for that shit. What else?
Probably new clothes as your size is expanding.
Maybe some maternity clothes. Sure.
I don't know.
But
But
those are her expenses. Those are her expenses, not baby expenses.
well, the point, all of it in the womb is considered baby expenses.
But that's for the health of the baby.
No, it's not.
It would be argued as for the health of the baby.
No, the type of clothing she
comfortable clothing.
buys, no.
I can see the argument.
If she doesn't fit into the clothes anymore because of baby.
I think we've had this conversation before where we would have to start policing exactly what the mother spends the money on for when it comes to child support.
And that's the reason I feel like the state is just gonna make it the match whatever number you've been paying. That's what I'm saying. It just feels like more complicated.
Oh no, they're definitely gonna do it the sloppiest way possible.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Which is why I'm not in favor of it.
But it just feels weird to make her like keep up with receipts for 9 months if she plans on.
I don't think she has to. I think there could be like a reasonable price that we can like an average price that this costs, and then you can pay that.
So it wouldn't be income based. It would just be this set number.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be income based.
Yeah, doesn't make sense
for sure. No.
Do you believe that about child support generally, or?
Well, I do think what's happening now is insane, but the argument is you should be able to provide a certain type of lifestyle for your kid, right?
Yeah.
But I think there should clearly be a maximum.
Yeah,
sure,
I agree.
Without a doubt.
And the maximum can be decently high, But like some people are crazy. Like I think that if you set a max at like $10K a month, like I think I could get behind
For what?
that. Child support.
In
'Cause there's some
general?
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
maximum.
okay.
Hey,
Because there's some people that pay like
Because when I
50K.
thought you were talking about still
So
the
you're talking
9 month
about before? Oh,
I
yeah,
was like, 10K a month?
yeah. I think doing the whole like a function of the person's income is wild. I think it should be some standard of gradient of better and better care, and there's some maximum.
yeah,
It
yeah,
should, it should be like
You fall somewhere.
it should be the standard of cost of living in your city or wherever you live.
Yeah, or double or triple or quadruple. And
would
there's
your
some.
opinion change if like you're dealing with like a troubled pregnancy, right? Like there's some pregnancies that are like actually more expensive, not because like a billionaire came in you, right? But they're
No,
actually
so I
more
think the
expensive.
same thing. There could be some gradients,
Okay.
and like this is a regular pregnancy. This is a irregular
risk.
pregnancy. This is a very irregular pregnancy. Yeah,
Okay.
there could be tiers for sure. Tiers is the word I was looking for. But I think all of that situation should be like that, because I think like it's my whole problem with alimony. I think that, and it's different because this is like a child situation. But like with alimony, when it's like, oh, this person was used to this lifestyle. Well, this person was used to this lifestyle and we were together. So of course that made sense. But now that we're not together, it's like it's up. Like,
They used to being broke. They were used to being broke
yeah,
before.
exactly. Like that was a better decision. You should have.
I don't think
Now,
that's the main argument, though. The main argument for alimony is the only reason you were allowed to get this much money is because she was able to do the unpaid labor at home.
And I think
Yeah,
I
but
think you have
that's
to
crazy.
prove that to
That's
some
crazy.
degree. Either you have to prove that she was helpful.
No, you don't.
Or
No, it's a
and I'm
function
gonna-
of both.
I was just gonna say or she's been with you like for an extended period of time.
Like before you got the money.
Not even if it's after the money. Like if she's been with you like 10 years plus out of the workforce, they say that like there's a period that she like reasonably can't be expected to jump straight back in. Like you have to help.
So a lot of it is a function of marital assets, which once you get married, 50% of everybody's income is the other person's income, right? And then you split marital assets, and then this is what they were used to because of their marriage and blah blah blah. But yeah, but it did start with home mothery and stuff like that being the thought process behind it. But now that we live in a dual work home society, it's crazy to still exist.
But the vast majority of states have like a 10-year rule before you even qualify for alimony. Like you can't like
I don't
alimony
think
doesn't kick
it
in for
even
like
matters
fourth
then.
marriages.
Well,
I don't even think it matters then.
what do you?
I think
what
if
do you-
somebody's a housewife, obviously it's different. But
Okay.
outside of that situation, I think it's bananas.
All right, that's what I was going to ask about. All right, fair enough.
So the
Oh
only
yeah.
Wait,
If
wait,
somebody give up their ability to work for multiple years, you can't just be like, "Yo, I'm out." Like, nah, like hell no,
Okay, fair enough.
for sure.
I thought Dream was gonna say something. I was like, I think that it's reasonable, even if someone's been doing some level of work. Like if it was a work that just made sense for the family, like, oh, okay, I kept a job, but maybe I took on a part-time job because you rather have me at home, or maybe I didn't pursue my second level of education for some reason, yada yada, insert thing here. Like I'm actually don't, because alimony is so rare to actually get paid out. I think it's hard for me to find a case where I'm not generally okay with it, because it's not even a permanent thing. They usually set it for some period of time, like, oh, there's like 4 years, 5 years, whatever, and then this is all the money you're gonna get. But it basically gives you an opportunity if you need to go back to school, if you need to, make some investments, do whatever you need to do to like place yourself in a position to sustain yourself as single.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if you would have to prove projected earnings for that period. Like you could say, "Oh, I was gonna go to school, I was gonna be this, I was gonna do that," but what if you weren't gonna do any of that and you'd have still been broke? Yet you're getting paid for as if you were to have done something.
Well, I think it's positive. I think it's good to look on the bright side of humanity and just
I think it should be. It's a lot of things I think in our society that should be the exact opposite. So I know one time we talked about what is it called, legitimization tests, and how they're like opt-in, and I feel like they should be mandatory and things like that. I feel the same way about marriage. I think that the default should be you get none of this. And the way it works today is you have to sign a prenup to protect yourself, or you get defaulted into a whole bunch of bullshit. I think it should work the exact opposite. If you don't sign some kind of agreement, pre or post nuptial, then the default is when y'all walk away, there's nobody owes anybody anything. You split up existing assets, right? Still, but nobody owes anybody anything, and you have to write in that that's what we want to do. So there's a lot of things in our society that was set up to protect women when they were more vulnerable, and I think those things were reasonable in those times. I just don't think we live in those times anymore. So I think the system is inherently antagonistic to men because we're living with an outdated system.
But like in your head, again, just off the top of your head, what percentage of men do you think actually end up having to pay alimony?
I think it's like 10% or something. I can't remember the number, but
That sounds
it's
really high to me. Honestly, personally, I don't even think I would be surprised if it was higher than 5. Like I said, but again,
But-
I don't know.
but to be specific, it isn't just alimony that I take issue with. It's also
splitting
marital asset laws of when people are married. I also take issue with that.
He's actually right. Reuters reported that only about 10% of divorce cases in the country involve alimony.
Okay, that's shocking to me.
He's
Yeah.
pretty on point.
Right.
And only
Yeah, but
3%
it's
of
not
men
just
get alimony. Only 3% of men actually get alimony.
Yeah.
That's not
So
shocking.
like there's alimony, which I think is always bananas almost outside of house mothery and stuff like that. But there's the way that marital assets are managed and all of that I have even bigger disagreements with than alimony. Well, no, I disagree with alimony more, but I think those things are terrible too.
So what if if both names are in the house, how should it get involved?
I think that's a marital asset. Yeah, I just don't think things should default being that way. So if the name on the property doesn't matter at all, I'm pretty sure if you buy an asset while being married, it's not fully yours regardless.
No, but I'm saying in your ideal situation, because you're saying that like you should walk away with just what you came with. I'm saying what happens if both people's names are in a home? Like, are we back to
Then it
square
should
one?
get split or however they resolve it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they sell the house and
maybe
split the
sell
assets,
the
or
house.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
rough.
That's in this economy. That's impossible. That's gonna be nearly
Yeah.
impossible.
To sell the
Wait,
house.
If the
what's
house isn't
near
paid
impossible?
off
Why
and you
would it
sell
be
it
easy to sell
off,
a
you're
house
losing
and
money.
I feel like most people have equity. If you own a house right now, depending on where you live, you're almost always up.
Yeah,
At
I
least
mean,
in right
there's-
now,
I
today's
it
market.
can be. This can be done. I've seen it. I've seen it happen, and I've heard about it. People can easily get divorced, but just remain roommates. Like, yeah, we're not really together anymore. But
That's
That's called extreme poverty.
Wait. Question though. What are y'all advocating for? Because it sounds like y'all staunchly disagree with me and Prime. I'm saying that I think the most reasonable thing if a relationship ends and there's joint assets is to liquefy those assets and split the cash some kind of way. It
It'll
sounds
be
like y'all
hard
with
to
you,
think
except
that's
for in the
reasonable.
case of a house, that might be a little difficult.
Yeah, that just the
So
house.
what
is
do
the
you
problem.
recommend? Only one person keep it and the other person leave?
Roommates
Basically, they buy them out.
someone figures out.
What Razor just said, or the party that can best afford the house keeps the house, and the other party basically loses their portion of it.
That's like
Losing
more extreme. That's more extreme than
$150,000 in
Gambit
equity.
would say. That's actually worse off for women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
They
worse off for
lose
them.
equity then.
Yeah,
They lose
Currently,
lose all of
majority
it.
of the time, yes. Currently,
no
majority of the time,
matter
yes.
what
But
work they put into that home, because the husband,
The biggest purchase 95% of people will ever make in their life. Like, and you're like, oh, you just lost that. All
yeah,
of it,
you just
100%.
lost.
Yeah,
That's
like-
actually much worse.
there are some people who just like say fuck it because they'd rather just not deal with whoever they're with, whoever they used to be with. Like they can't.
No,
deal
I
with the
think
toxic-
people
they're
can
like, fuck
opt
it.
to do that, right?
Yeah.
That's what sometimes happens, but I don't think that should be the default.
Yeah, that's
like-
worse. That's
But then
way
here
more
comes but then here's where the biggest issue comes in. What about their kids? Like, where do they go?
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
If
I
the-
don't know
if
why
the ha-
Wait. That doesn't matter to the asset of the house, right?
Yeah.
If these people aren't going to live together, that the house and where the kids are going to go is always a question, right? And I don't know the statistics. My assumption would be most people that divorce don't live together. So the conversation of custody to me is outside of the conversation over what you do with
And
Joint
one of
assets.
the best
So-
ways to make sure those kids are taken care of by whoever has custody is the splitting of the assets, rather than one person you asked out of the house.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would be, yeah. I would say I would burn if that happened. I would burn that bitch to the ground.
Yeah, so much arson.
Yeah, I'm about to,
Somebody's
just
in
out.
jail for arson right now because
Yeah.
shit like that. Some attorney won a case. He was like, okay, bitch, all right, I got some.
Mhm.
And then she got fire insurance money, and then she was rich anyway. So niggas really upset now. But
Well, depending on, I'm about to say, one insurance doesn't pay out if they can prove arson or prove you have something.
oh
to do
yeah,
with it.
if you're a co-owner on the house and you do arson, I believe. Yeah, you know what? I wonder. Can you sue civilly? What happens? So if you and a person own a house and they burn it down, I'm pretty sure your insurance is not going to pay out. They're not going to pay you
Yeah, I work in the
for
insurance,
you
yeah,
burning down the house.
You know.
So do you have to do like a civil suit for your portion of the equity? I wonder how that works.
That would make sense.
Probably, I think that makes sense. Oh, it would be a breach of contract suit.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Breach of contract.
That's probably on page 1 of that. like
You burn
just
the
like
shit
life
down.
insurance and suicide,
If
right?
this
Like
shit
they
goes
nah.
down, I'm not paying shit, man.
Oh, that's a question. I know we got to get to the topic. All right. If somebody commits suicide, should life insurance pay out?
I think so.
If it's been more than 2 years, it does.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years since the
Since
Since
the policy
claim has been
enforced.
taken out, yeah.
Basically, you can't. Like, I need money
It
bad.
never pays.
No, it does. I work in insurance. If it's been more than 2 years and you kill yourself, because basically you can't take out $1 million policy and I want my kid and go immediately kill yourself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
but they don't have rules against like people randomly having depression. Like you bought life insurance when you were 18 and then at 48 you had depression.
Well, yeah, it's typically 2 years.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I thought
me
if somebody committed suicide, in all cases you get no money.
That's
what I thought.
That was like
I'm
the
learning.
Ozarks, remember? Like if you watched that, like that's like how that plot began, which is a good show.
Yep.
Check it out on Netflix. But literally, that's how that plot began, and it's
Really? I don't remember that. I love that show, but I don't remember
at the
that
very
part.
beginning. Yeah, remember he was gonna go kill himself. He was at the edge, like the episode 1. He was, and he was about to do it.
Oh, because his wife was cheating on him, right?
Mhm.
And
no,
I think he was just gonna run from the hard cartel. I think he was just gonna kill himself to like not involve his family in that. And
but his wife was cheating on him too.
I mean, she was, yeah.
And that's when that whole thing changed.
But he called and was asking this person. I think he said like, "Oh, that would be fraud or something." But yeah, in real life, yeah, you can kill yourself if you have life insurance, but just not
I didn't
immediately.
know that.
You got to wait 2 years.
But
hold on. with
It
depression
sounds
for
like
2
y'all
years.
like prescribing advice, bro. Like
we are not doing that.
This is not financial advice.
If this was Canada,
Well, what's the max you can get from a life insurance policy?
As much as you
The
can.
amount that you want to pay, yeah.
I was about to say, Jim
They do
Harbaugh.
health checks and stuff.
Jim Harbaugh, like he actually got the Michigan Wolverines to pay his salary in life insurance. He's got like ridiculous. It's like
Pay his salary in life insurance. Can you explain what that means?
yeah, life insurance is basically like a form of investment. Like life insurance is saying you're paying into whatever company you use a premium, and they're taking that money and they're investing in the S&P 500 against the money you give them, and then when you die, they'll pay out like if you have whole life, basically the agreed to payout
Which you should
amount.
never have, by the way. But yeah,
Never, yeah.
First of all,
What is whole life?
Listen to Dave Ramsey. Whole life means
wait,
whole life.
we
do
can
not
fight.
listen. I was about to say
We can
whole life.
fight.
Dave Ramsey has whole life insurance. First of all,
No, he
I was about to say,
doesn't. No, he
contrary to
doesn't.
popular belief, he absolutely does. He has millions.
No, he doesn't.
But
No, he doesn't.
so whole life insurance costs a little bit more up front, but you lock in the price for a lifetime, saying that like if you're
Even through inflation?
yeah, the price is locked in until the day you die, but it increases in value as you age. Term insurance lasts for a certain period of time, but it's cheaper, so you can buy more. So
Everybody should have term insurance. You should never have
you
life
should have term, but you should also have whole. You absolutely should have
No,
whole.
you should never have whole life ever, in no condition.
This is what ruins black people.
The man who works in insurance is being told he's incorrect. This is
Yes,
this
yes,
is terrible.
yeah. That's why he know Dave
You
Ramsey
should
will
have
tell
both
me he's
though.
wrong.
But
No,
Dave Ramsey
you
has
should
whole
have
life
term
insurance.
life, and you should be working by the time your term life is ended that you've created enough assets to give to your next of kin.
And you just
That's what you
gave
should have.
you just gave all your money away. Whole life actually makes you money over the lifetime. Again, this is an investment. You're paying in, and then like usually the 17-year
No,
mark.
you can invest
you-
that
you-
money that the $300,000 million that you would pay the whole life. You can just invest that yourself. That's what you can do. So you get term life. So it
and, no,
says,
and
hey, if I
invest the
die,
rest. Term and
yes,
invest the rest. Nobody
yes,
invests
that's
the rest.
exactly what should happen.
Nobody
Exactly
invests the rest.
what. So this is what Bam is telling y'all right now. He's saying, hey, pay them the money so they can invest it and give you less of it rather than buy term so that if you die early, your next of kin get something. And then you work to invest the rest instead of that company so you get the actual face value of the investment. You should never have whole life insurance. It's crazy.
Whole life
Never.
whole life is guaranteed to pay out when you die. Term, like people expire, and you're literally throwing money down the drain.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You
giving
are.
yourself
You
time.
you don't get the money back from term. That's
Yes.
literally the point.
Term,
Whole life you get the money back.
Term is a insurance policy, and what you're saying is,
You're
I'm going to
paying
create
to throw
financial
your money away.
assets before this time expires. So you should pick a reasonable amount of time. Like if you think, hey, I need 30 years, 35, 40 years, then you should get 30 to 40 years of term life. And you should work to be
Nobody's
in a
gonna sell
much
you
better
a 40-year
financial
term
shape.
life.
before then.
30 years do it. Nobody's gonna sell you a 40-year term.
Yes, I have in my inbox right now is a 40-year term life.
You have a
policy.
40-year term policy.
I could sign it right now. Yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely do.
That sounds like some scam company that's gonna sell you 40
No,
years.
Symmetra is scam? Really? The biggest? No.
Symmetra's not the biggest. The biggest is Western Mutual.
Okay. All right.
Well, maybe
so,
Western Mutual. Okay.
Um.
But anyway,
this
Symmetra is gigantic.
Okay. This has been interesting.
The big one.
It's been a thing, any which way. All right. So let's move past that. But anyway, thanks everyone for being here. This is all Black Everything. Roundtable.
One small thing. Black people do need to get some kind of life insurance. If you are a terrible person and you want to at least buy whole life, at least buy that shit. At least have something. At least when you pass, if you pass, having whole life is better than not having any fucking thing. But no, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's a really selfish thing.
There's so many niggas that just don't have life insurance though. Like it really needs to have at least something. Like but yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be fun.
It's a monthly payment on the average life insurance plan.
It depends on your health and it depends on your age.
Yeah.
That's why I said average.
Also, lie about smoking. If you
how old are
smoke.
you? 25. I was about to say, if you're 25, you're looking for 250,000 in term. You're probably gonna, probably like $30. I was about to say,
it's cheap, bro. It's real cheap.
If you were if you were gonna do whole, I wouldn't recommend 250,000. I'd recommend probably 50,000, and it's probably gonna be like at 25. It's probably like $45. Maybe not even that much.
Interesting.
But that 50,000 by the time you're like 60 is going to be worth over.
It's like a Roth IRA, then, right?
Kinda, yeah. You can pull money from it if you need to.
No.
You have access to it.
Don't.
Wait.
That's why he looked down. No. Let's go back to a new topic. No. It's not like Roth.
Whatever. Whatever. We'll do this another time.
Something.
Hook me up, Bam.
Something, bro. Insurance. Like it's a lot of people that pass, bro, and their family is left to figure shit out, and they have to figure out: am I just gonna cremate them? Am I gonna go into debt trying to figure out how to figure this shit out? Have fucking something. But
have a dream and a wish. Yeah,
the average funeral in 2020, the average at least for 2023,
12,000.
The average was like it was like 12 to 16,000. And that's like standard. That's not no bells and whistles.
Yeah, my grandma passed.
I already put 2 people in the dirt, less than $3,000 each.
Jesus,
that's the pine box, boy.
Both cremated.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cremation's cheaper.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Gotcha.
Would y'all want to be cremated?
Hell no.
Moving past this. Great. So, anyway, thanks all for being here. This is very all Black Everything. I got it right the first time. All Black Everything Roundtable. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we got a great topic here, and we got great people. So I just want to introduce them real quick. D10 Dream is here. Hey, what's up, D10? And then we got Razor, who is effervescent, as always. Then we have our friend GSU Gambit. It's always nice to have him here. It's very rare, but it's always a special occasion. Next, Black American Maid. What's up, Bam? And finally, our friend Lila Waller Kai, who we convinced him to come back, even after his great disappointment last week as to what happened. I really apologize about that, buddy. We had this topic picked out, and he was like very much prepared for the topic, and then we didn't get to the topic. And so I made a promise to him that we
I
would.
thought this was on the list last week. I was like, wait, they never did it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Prime
we
cut
never
me
did it.
right out of it.
Yeah.
I
do
thought it was about to
apologize.
happen again this week.
No,
Yeah.
no. I made a promise. I was like, no, we got to do this.
Me, Kai, and a couple others did a small sampling yesterday.
So, okay.
Yes, that was a great day, but yeah.
And if you've enjoyed this conversation so far, consider supporting the channel by subbing to the channel, gifting bits or gifting subs. That's all really helpful, really useful. Or use a hype chat or super chat if you're in YouTube or Twitch land. Consider helping us out that way. If you do that, we'll read out your message, give you attention and love, I guess, sure. But yeah, consider helping out the channel. That's the way this place survives, is with your support. So topic.
Hey, one thing I was going to tell you, Prime, just really quick. I don't know if it's me, but you can't do hype chats in your Twitch anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Twitch either. I don't give anybody else hype chats, but I can't give you a hype chat. So I don't know if there's a setting
does it
or I don't know
say?
what changed.
I think they took it
It-
down.
it- it's
Yeah, I
not
think they
an
took the
option.
feature. Yeah, it's just not even a feature anymore.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Because
that.
I was in your chat. I was in your chat. I can't remember when, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't give like a." I was going to try to disrupt the panel, but I couldn't give a hype chat, so I was like, "Oh fuck, let's go." But yeah, just FYI. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Well, you can in YouTube land, of course, you can have super chats, or just like give directly to the PayPal, and that'll be easier, and that'll just be better. Get more of the money. So, but thank you so much. All right. So the topic. Ghana's parliament has passed an anti-LGBTQ law. Gay sex, which was already criminalized under previous legislation, will incur longer jail sentences. And gay allies will also be punished for the promotion of the quote-unquote gay lifestyle. The bill has yet to be, well, when I wrote this, I didn't check, I didn't update it, but the bill has yet to be signed by Ghana's president, but it will happen in all likelihood. Ghana is a major African nation with cultural and political power across the continent. Should Black Americans care about this and other political events that happen in Africa? Would you be in a favor of sanctioning or otherwise punishing Ghana and countries with similar laws? Or would you consider that another act of Western imperialism? Should we just stay out of it even when marginalized communities are being discriminated against? So yeah, this was again the topic was for last week. So I don't know if the bill has actually been signed. It might have been since then, but like it's well from my perspective quite an unfortunate situation where like for gay individuals like you can just be like tossed in jail if like they have evidence of you doing some sort of gay contact and once you're in that sort of environment anything can be looked at in that sort of way. So I'm just wondering like what should we do about that? Is this something that we should care about, that we should take action on? Should liberal democracies care about the downtrodden in other nations? So we'll start with D10 Dream.
Ooh, I'm not in my place. It's fine.
I heard that this bill was coined with the term the GSU Gambit law, the GSU Gambit bill.
Jesus Christ.
What? I'm catching strays? What?
That wasn't a stray. That was a straight hook. That was a straight hook.
That was a headshot.
I wasn't calling you gay. I was calling you anti-gay. But anyways,
No, I know.
I think if we were to, this is crazy because I'm speaking as the only African on this panel, the continental African. Africa is very homophobic, beyond the likes you've never seen. I call people gay. I've called people gay here in America, like as a joke, and we call each other gay as a joke all the time. But when I tried to call my cousin gay in Morocco as a joke, then they get slapped the fuck out of me. And I said it in public. I was on a public sidewalk. He's like, "What the fuck? Shh, can't do that here." I was like, "Oh, I thought I was just joking. I know you're not gay." He's like, "Shut up. Can't even joke about that shit here." So that just tells you how fucking homophobic they are. You can't even joke about a nigga being gay. That shit is hella homophobic. So that being said, that's Morocco, that's Ghana, that's Kenya, that's Nigeria, that's every 54 country. That's every country in all 54 nations in Africa. You're gonna be homophobic. So if we were to sanction one and similar countries, we sanctioning all of Africa, and God knows that Africa needs as much help as it can get. And that being said, I think the more we help Africa and the more modern they become, the less homophobic they become. So if we were to sanction any nation that's homophobic, I think it's like antithetical to the goal that we want to accomplish of them being less homophobic. Because the more advanced a nation is, the more likely that they are accepting of like more modern views, aka homosexuality, trans stuff, and etc. What else? Yeah, let's just stay out of it. Black Americans shouldn't really care about what Africa's got going on. Just let them go through the thing that they got. Unless you want to go there, unless you want to become a Ghanaian citizen, then yeah, hey, look, I'm gay. I probably shouldn't be there. Yeah, Black Americans should not care unless they're like an expatriate or travel abroad or something like that. But just we got way too much going on here. We should focus our energy here. You know, there we go.
Razor.
So obviously this is pretty barbaric. Like people can't even like be them. People are not allowed to be themselves. Be open about who they are. Unless you're straight. You know, do all the PDA you want, as long as you're straight. But if you're gay, go to jail or possibly die. If you even have friends who are gay, go to jail, possibly die. That's not fun. I hate that. Unfortunately, obviously, foreign policy shit is kind of fucked right now. America doesn't know how to police shit. Every time we try to, we basically just turn it into colonization 2.0, where we completely fuck them over worse than they already are. For these countries like Ghana and everything, though, you can definitely trace back what causes the majority of this. It's not just the fact that they are dealing with a lot of economic issues. It's also evangelicals have basically been pushing like biblical stuff down their throat. A lot of like bills that they have that are anti-gay, anti-trans, stuff like that are co-written, if not directly written, by evangelical companies and preachers and shit who go down there and preach the devilry of gays and stuff like that. Because it's no longer working here in America, so they go over there and start spouting it off until all the politicians and people go along with it. That's where the majority of this is coming from. Evangelicalism, fuck religion. This is majority their fault in my mind. Should black people here in America care about that? Unfortunately, I would have to say I want us to care. I want us to be, because there are a lot of gay black people here who probably have like a brother or a sister or something who they might who want to get in touch with their African heritage, want to go back to Ghana or stuff like that. So care in the sense of like, I hope it gets better. Sure. Care in the sense of go do something. Unless you're running for office to then do said outreach to Africa to better their economics and infrastructure and make it to where they stop relying on an 2,000-year-old book written by fucking goat herders. I don't know what the fuck we can. I don't know what to do on that front. Fuck religion.
Thanks.
Are you gay?
Thank you for that. GSU Gambit.
Yeah, so this is complicated. So my knee-jerk reaction is that this is wild, this is crazy, and this definitely shouldn't be allowed. And I think that's just collectively where I'm at with it. The thing that's, and I think we talked about this, I can't remember what the conflict was, but we talked about this before. There's also like should we let sovereign nations be sovereign nations, right? And things that we kind of consider like human rights abuses or whatever, we kind of like, hey, you can be a sovereign nation, but don't be an asshole. And I kind of feel that way about this for sure. I was reading an article just now, and it seems like the two biggest parties in Ghana support this. And what I'm trying to imagine is there's something in the United States that our Republican and Democratic Party supported. Should we pass that thing? And should we be allowed to, right? And should we care how external entities feel if in our country both the Republican and Democratic Party actually agreed on something? So that's where it's hard for me. So generally speaking, I think this would fall under like human rights abuse, just like other stuff. So I definitely am not okay with it. Yeah, but I'll leave it there and we'll talk more in the open. And I'll bring up some stuff that happened on a panel I was on yesterday. But yeah, we'll see what it is.
Okay. Bam, who's a degenerate for other reasons. We want your opinion here.
So, like, when I read the question, and it is like, again, maybe it's just a really Black American thing. Unfortunately, I actually don't care. Not because I'm okay with like what's happening to gay people. It just does feel like so separated from the issues we Black people have going on in America, and like are like I don't know. Like, as far as, do I think it should be happening? Absolutely not. Do I think that there's any legitimate reason for like Black people to put like sweat equity behind like, or like any emotional investment into an issue like this? That it seems like our tears or our like activism wouldn't actually have any impact on. It's a completely different culture and subculture that I don't know if we as the West, like I said, should have any say over, even though I do have like my own personal values for what I would like the world to be. Yeah, especially with on top of the fact that it was something that was already criminalized, like the fact of like increasing the criminalization it just feels more of a non-issue. Like, now if it went from like non-criminalized to criminalized, maybe I would feel more invested. But just saying that like, oh, the amount of time you get in jail is just worse than before. You was gonna go to jail before, but now you're just in there longer. I don't know. It just doesn't really move me. But sorry to those people who go through that.
No problem. And please, Leo Archive.
So Dream pretty much nailed it on a lot of what I was going to say to begin with, and the fact that we definitely shouldn't be sanctioning them or punishing them in any way. If anything, if you look at the history of the country from the 1800s and early 1900s, they actually had friendship marriages. They had a thing in their culture where they said people with heavy spirits like men or like women. So like males that had heavy spirits like women, men that had lighter spirits would be with men, and they would have relationships like that. It wasn't until the mid 1800s during colonization, when the religion was brought in by Westerners or the colonizers, that you started seeing this issue where they started to punish people for sodomy. Then in 1892, all of a sudden, they started having actual criminal laws. So I would say that the people that came in, took resources and other things, actually owe this country reparations to help, like Dream said, give them more education and technology to actually fix this problem, because it's not going to be fixed through punishing them. And in a lot of African countries, I've heard that the homosexuality or LGBTQ stuff is coming from the West and poisoning them, which is not the reality. So I would actually say that with Black Americans, we could have a solidarity in looking toward getting reparations from the people that caused the problem in the first place, that left us behind to not be in a position to not have these issues.
Uh,
I wouldn't
What?
put that on religion. I was about to say, just from a historical perspective, it's all the framing of Christianity is always that like the white man brought it over, but I'm pretty sure
Homophobia
Christianity.
been existed.
No, not even homophobia. I'm just saying that like Christianity in particular expanded into Africa before it hit like major parts of Europe. Christianity existed in Africa dating back to like the 1st century.
Yeah, but I'm saying in this particular place, you didn't start getting a problem with that because they actually had homosexual marriages and relationships they called friendship marriages up until the colonizers came in, put in sodomy laws, and brought the religion into
This
that country
is-
predominantly.
what
Which
Akai
now-
is saying. What Akai
specifically
is
Ghana.
saying is true for many places in the continent, and that like they were very open to gay marriages pre-colonial, and then and not just gay marriages, but like all types of like non-binary, second spirit, that type of stuff. Like they didn't look at it the same way at all. They were fine with it. Colonization happens, and they start instituting anti-gay laws that carries into the post-colonization period. And now they say, and now what they say is in Africa, oh, this idea of people being gay, that's a white man thing. That's poisoning from like Europeans, from Westerners, because we weren't gay before, but this is a complete historical inaccuracy.
Well,
So at this
I'm
point,
not-
let me
I'm
just
not
outline this.
challenging.
71% of the country is now Christian, 20% is now Muslim, and the rest are indigenous or whatever their main culture would be. So with 71% being Christian, I'm not going to say this is something that stemmed from the country itself.
Yeah, I don't know if the way that things are today are the way that things that y'all were talking about pre 1820. I don't know if what we consider non-straight and what those people consider non-straight are equal. So that's the only thing that I like. It's easy to say, oh, it looks like the West had changed their mentality and now they're against things that they used to be for. I just don't know if what we're living through today and the attitudes and thoughts around gender and sexuality are what they lived through in
Oh no,
the
I don't.
1800s.
I wouldn't say those things are exactly the same, right? Like I wouldn't say that like the
Yeah,
moment
I'm
that we
just
have.
saying it's conceivable that they could have had whatever culture they had pre the year that y'all mentioned, and they could have still been against this form of gender and sexuality
Hold on.
coming to that country.
Oh,
They had male concubines.
yeah, I don't. So I don't know. So let me.
This weird thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I'll just say it very quickly, right? And then you can go, Razor. I'm not going to pretend that I know the exact contours of like their sexual dynamics pre-colonization. Just that like male relationships, and female relationships, well, weren't stigmatized in the way they were now, right? But I'm not going to say that that moment in time mirrors our current moment in time in terms of like those like gender politics or whatever, right? So like I'm not trying to overstate my case here.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
how people police or have like taken over the term, like, oh yeah, like the third gender, two-spirit person, and they reference like indigenous people when like those terms
Yeah.
had nothing to do with sexuality. Like it was more like just a ceremonial thing of like, oh, you're also an oxman, like like dear
Well,
spirit.
that,
Like it
that's more
wouldn't say that
gender,
you have
not
girls,
sexuality, but
but
that's more gender,
it,
not
it
sexuality.
wasn't
but-
even gender. It wasn't like it didn't even fit into our framing of like the LGBTQ. But
Yeah, I know. I'm more saying like that's what the argument is. It has nothing to do with sexuality. It has
Oh,
to
well,
do
yeah.
with just gender. Yeah, that's what the argument usually is.
Razor, you want to say something
Uh,
before?
Oh no. Yeah. I was gonna mention like there's throughout history there's always like I think before Christianity became like a big thing with like sodomy when sodomy was started being this big issue or whatever. Homosexuality was almost never a big issue. I mean, the thing that a lot of and this is always funny to me that a lot of right wingers seem to damn near worship is like the Roman Empire and everything, Spartans or whatever. They were the gayest motherfuckers in the world. Gay, like having gay sex constantly every single day. As like there's no but then Christianity came around and now it's evil and sort of what the
Yeah,
fuck.
most of these practices ended after Constantine. So when Constantine took Christianity as the primary religion, this is when those practices were deemed problematic.
But were those so? And I'm asking y'all for clarification because I don't know. I've heard that those things existed in spaces that were exclusive to men, like men traveling for war. But I haven't heard of these things being a part of just regular day-to-day life like it is here.
No,
And I'm not saying what
it,
we have here is bad. I'm just saying
It
it seems
definitely
like
was,
what we're talking
it
about
was
here
a
is
day to
different.
day thing.
especially in
It was a
Greece.
day-to-day.
It was a
Yeah.
day-to-day thing. This was perfectly normal.
In
And
Athens,
the same
Well,
thing,
that's
so
it.
like
It's-
Greece, yeah.
going back
Specifically
to
with the
Ghana,
Spartans, they didn't have relationships though. Like they still went home and like you got matched up with women to have kids. But if you was like a soldier off, like I said, off the war, and it wasn't nothing but little boys around, that you
well,
get your rocks off.
Spartans had an
Yeah,
entirely different
Spartans.
culture where it was a matriarchy for the most part, where women basically held shit down. So
But I thought that was
that it's an
Athens
entirely
because of
different.
Athena. I thought that was
No.
Athens because of Athena.
No, that was Sparta. It could have
Oh,
also been
yeah.
Athens, but Sparta for sure was a matriarchy.
Okay. Oh yeah, because
But
like the
but
women
saying
were the
that
ones
it
that
was
had
a
the final say where
matriarchy
the men goes
does
off.
it mean that they had
Like I said, I don't know if it was culture or if
yeah
it was just a whole bunch of sexual assault going on
yeah exactly
with
yeah
young
that
soldiers.
yeah was it prison or was it America like
Yeah,
right like
I
I
just
wouldn't
looked it
say
up.
Athens was like that, but I would say most of Greece was like that.
I just
Spartan
looked.
culture is very different from the rest of Greek
well
culture.
was it like that in terms of like there's this kinky sex place where people do things or was it no hey I'm growing up and I want a boyfriend
They had
and I get a boyfriend and we live happily
they had
ever after
mad orgies. They had
no but that's not
mad orgies and
but
shit.
that's not the
I-
that's
that's-
I'm
Yeah, I'm saying
specifically asking a
outside of
different question now.
Athens. Oh, I'm sorry, not outside of Athens. Outside of Sparta, it was pretty much commonplace in Greece. This was a normal thing. Same thing like through Italy, all these different cultures, perfectly fine with it until the time of Constantine.
But might I
Basically,
add that
Christianity showed up and fucked everything, so we couldn't fuck anymore.
might I add that there were the best that I did some slight research with
That's the
ChatGPT.
reason I
Oh,
hate
boy.
religion.
I
I'm
asked
doing the
Chat.
same thing right now.
I asked Chat were most people in Africa accepting homosexuality or were most people not accepting homosexuality? And it's basically said the evidence is inconclusive. We don't have enough evidence to say one way or another. And the most that Chat can say is that at the very least there were some African societies that were accepting homosexuality and various LGBT stuff.
Even
So
if it's,
there is no. Go
even
ahead.
if it supports my point. I don't. I'm not going to take ChatGPT's word for anything. Like I just really not going to. But yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
If you
So
look
what
at the
I'm saying-
Ghanaian culture, they would actually take a male bride, just like a heterosexual bride, and they would pay a price for that male bride. And they usually had like a within 10-year age difference.
My issue
So-
is my
So
issue
what
is
I'm saying is
my
stuff
issue.
like
Hold on,
that.
real quick. I
don't-
wasn't done
I
before I
pay
got
about
interrupted by Prime.
$1.45 for a dream.
My
Go ahead.
issue is simple. My issue is simple. It's like this whole notion that Africa wasn't mostly homophobic until recently. I think that's a flawed claim to make because you have no idea. You shouldn't be making a claim without evidence. You could say, "Hey, in Africa there were some
we did have
cultures
evidence,
that."
and even
Are you listening
I
to what
don't
I'm
think
saying?
y'all do though. I think y'all are overstated. So what I see, I'm just looking up ancient Greece now because I'm
I
looking
don't
at
know
the
about
things that
ancient
are relevant
Greece,
to what
like,
we're talking.
so
No,
I
I'm
don't-
just yeah.
okay.
So all I'm saying is that as we talk about different places, I'm just googling and just trying to find research about previous, and it seems like the sexuality that the homosexuality they had was around dominance and more so the things that I think me and Bam were saying. And it specifically says if two men of like a similar age had a relationship, that was deemed like perverse. So it seems like it was always a domination thing,
Boys.
and like it was always used as
I
like
think it was
a way to
I think it was a mentorship
assert
thing.
power.
My understanding of that, but I don't know. Like, there's not the argument that I came here to make. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but
why-
I know
but hold
Ghana's
on,
as recently as the 1800s.
I want to call out why I think this is important, because the question I asked earlier was, what they had, was it similar to what we have today? Because it's possible they could reject what we have today, and it has nothing to do with the religiosity of the society. So and I'm not saying that this is right. I'm just saying this is my perception
yeah.
based off the things that I've learned. They probably would reject what we have today back then. Is
And-
what it seems like.
Gambit, I would probably also add that today's Ghana or today's African homophobic countries probably would reject the homosexuality of Greece boys too. Like, any type of homosexuality, today's homophobia would reject. There isn't a homosexuality they would accept.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So
I think
look-
that. Oh, you can say anything.
no, you go first. You go first.
Okay, yeah. My whole thing, like, I mean, I was looking it up as we was talking about what Kai was talking about, and it does seem the history of this. We don't have to go back to like ancient history. It seems like the things they're talking about date back as recently as the 1800s, which we should have decent. We have decently well recorded history. So it does seem like some things were happening. The one thing I do believe is somewhat of an overstatement is, just because things are happening, I don't know if that necessarily means that they're like normalized and like a part of like part of the broader society. The reason I say that in particular is because, like, and this is regardless of the society you look at, regardless of the history you look at, like, we don't, if it was just common, like, we don't have a history that we can point to of like prominent gay marriages. Of like, I can't think of a king that was like didn't have a queen. He was just like,
I don't know how many kings you could even think of in the first place. But the point is that like I like.
But that's a good point, though.
This isn't. Sorry, I'm trying to like reset this discussion, because like we're going into this history thing where I had no intention for this conversation, right? Like talking about and I think just in the end we're going to be the blind leading the blind, because none of us are historians here, to be very clear, right?
ChatGPT is.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's a joke.
Yeah. So my point is that like talking about how nation states interact with each other right now. There's not a type of question you should bring to all black everything, but I want to give it a try, right? How nation states interact with each other. Does it make sense to care about the human rights violations happening in other nations? Should the community, right, that shares an ethnic background, loosely, I know, because of Black Americans, but like a loose ethnic background with those individuals, should we care? And how, and what does that look like?
Oh, right? This is less about gay stuff. You were caring about the other part of it. Got you. Yeah, I think that a country should honor its promises. Like, so if we were in some if we were in some had some type of like military relationship with Ghana, or we were part of some treaty that we had, like I don't know, like in those cases, yes. But I don't think that, again, outside of that, I don't think that we have necessarily a right to police their culture. Now, there is a level of human rights violation that I believe the United States or any other country should step in, especially if they're considered an ally. I don't know if LGBT is the line to draw, just because it's not even a settled thing in the country that we live in. Like we can say we're as pro LGBT as we want to, but the country, especially depending on the state and city you're in, is very split on this issue. It would be like policing another country's position on abortion. The United States, even though we had Roe v. Wade, like abortion wasn't a settled position.
We literally do it all the time.
I'm just giving my perspective. I think we probably shouldn't on things that we're like
Okay,
not
you're
even
saying
sure
we
about
shouldn't.
ourselves.
Sure. Okay. Fair
I
enough.
did find. I did
Right,
find
plus-
Yeah.
that we talked about the imported with the imported homophobia and put it in the chat if you guys want to look at that.
Yeah, I'm not
thank
I'm
you.
not I don't disagree that some homophobia is imported, but to
Majority
what
of it.
extent that the imported homophobia has like totally reshaped the landscape, we do not know.
Yeah.
Or like what the percentage of acceptance versus the acceptance percentage of non-acceptance, we do not know before, and all we know is right now. So if we can't say we don't know before, we can't say, oh, it definitely reshaped the landscape. We can say it affected it a little bit, which is all we have. So, and to go beyond that, I don't think there's any reprimand that we can put Ghana in a. There isn't any reprimand that we can do to Ghana that wouldn't like backfire to go against the cause that we want to support. Like I was saying, like any sanction to Ghana makes no sense. Like all we can do is verbal disagreement. Hey Ghana, what you're doing is bad. The Ghanaians look at us. Okay, well this is our like as they have. Like if you've ever seen the speech when Obama went to Kenya and said to you guys, "Hey, it would be awesome if you guys were more like accepting of the homosexuality community." The president of Kenya came right after him and said, "Nigga, you do you, and we'll do us." And everybody cheered. That's what's gonna happen. That's all that's gonna happen. You go to any nation, state, or talk to the people from there, like, please, hey guys, can you please be more accepting of gay people? Niggas gonna be like, we don't give a fuck about you. Do you in America do what you gotta do? Let us be us. Besides just verbal disagreement, what the fuck can we do?
Well,
That's
obviously,
gonna
just go
make
over
any
it.
type of change.
You don't obviously just go ask like that. You have to basically incentivize them to change their laws like that. Like if we do a treaty of some sort that we're able to send more aid and money to help better their infrastructure and fix their poverty and everything, that could easily help say grease the wheels to get it moving. To
So you're
have them
saying
be
more
able to-
money if you remove your
Yeah, give incentives.
wouldn't that be a sanction?
No, that's not.
No.
No, it's the opposite. It's incentivized. It's not cutting off resources.
It's like a
They're
de facto
adding resources.
sanction.
So right now, America
No,
is
no, it's
probably one of the countries that gives the most aid to Ghana. So I would think giving them more incentives would be a good thing, and also giving better paths to citizenship in America if people want to flee that country for those purposes would
Do we
also
have
be a
that
good
money?
step. I just don't, yeah, we give them millions of dollars every
No,
year.
I'm saying, do we have the money to give more to every nation? Because if we got to do it
It
to
wouldn't be
Ghana,
every
no,
nation,
no,
it would be
yeah.
specifically.
no. If why would we only pick Ghana? Is the question.
Well,
Well,
again,
I said Africa
because
I
we
said African
already give
countries in
more money
general.
to that particular country in Africa than most other countries in Africa.
Like I had said Africa
So,
in general. So
I think the British colony should be giving them more money in reparations,
them
honestly.
especially.
That should be
Yes.
what it really is. But if we're already a benefactor of that country, then we could give incentives moving forward on that. I don't see where Black Americans really can put
Yeah,
their
we could-
finger on the scale of that, but I think we could definitely voice support.
I get what you're saying, but listen what I'm saying. I understand that if Ghana is like the most paid support nation, we give them whatever. But what about like proportionate support, additional support? So it's like, sure, we give millions of dollars to Ghana, maybe we give hundreds of $1,000s more to another nation who also has anti-gay laws. So I'm not saying give them equal amount of money, but proportionate amount of money. So I just don't see the argument that could be said. We will only give this type of incentivized money to Ghana when there's other nations in Africa who have the same exact laws.
And I don't think anybody said that. I think Prime was just talking about. It's not about Ghana. Like I said, he even re-explained it. It's not about gayness. It's not about Ghana. He's saying should the U.S. like step in about cultural or social issues and try to influence like other countries to change. Is that something that we should be doing?
Well,
Not
I mean,
specifically Ghana, just anywhere.
if we're just if I say no on sanctions, but then Lethe brought up a good example, or maybe Razor brought it up about how you can just incentivize. So it's like you adding on, so it's not a sanction. I think that's if we can afford that. That's the only thing. My question is, can we actually afford that?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Quick question. How much of the percentage of like the budget do you think foreign aid takes up?
I don't know.
consider Ukraine while you're
just
thinking
just
this
hold on,
number.
I have no.
what-
I can't
what-
guess on something I have no idea about.
Okay.
You can't guess.
So
I choose not to. It's not responsible.
Sure, whatever. It takes less than 1%, right? Military aid is different. So, like, you were going to talk about Leader Kai, you were bringing military aid. That's categorized differently, but it's less than 1% of the budget. So you're asking about, can we afford it? Yes, we can absolutely afford it. And this
Why
what
does it?
what I'm looking
Why does
at,
that
right?
mean we can afford it just because it's less than 1%?
Yeah,
Okay.
that doesn't mean we can afford it.
That's not
Just 'cause-
All right, sorry, I'm not gonna. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna ignore
That is
this
a non
conversation.
sequitur.
Sorry, I'm gonna ignore this conversation. I'm not gonna go down a fight about the budget when, like, we're talking about a less than 1% line item in the budget. Can we afford more? Like, sorry, I'm not gonna do that. That's boring.
Oh
but
no, 2% is the line.
yeah, it's like it's unbelievable. I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah, it
leave
could
alone.
be.
I'm just
They're talking about Social Security being done in 2024, and they're going to cut it to
They
80%.
say
Like, these are
every
real
year.
conversations.
that's a yeah.
No.
No,
This
this
is
time for real. It's always real.
No. Okay. You should go look at the fucking SSA.gov then. If you think it's not real. But yeah.
And if Social Security runs out of money, that's a policy choice, not like a fact of the universe. So we could just change the policy. I'm just gonna move past that. You don't know what I'm talking about when I say that, but that's okay. But anyway, so we're moving. So what I'm
We
talking
can basically
about
make
is,
all that up if we just tax the rich
So-
how we're supposed to tax them. So
so-
they can get away with all
Yep,
the
it's
loopholes.
that easy.
So I'm just
extremely
ignoring
easy,
you.
actually.
I'm ignoring you because I don't give a fuck about this conversation, like not even a little bit. So what I think, so you guys have been saying something which is really interesting to me, right? That, like, hey, this is happening in another country and we can't, like, tell them what to do. We can't be influencing them, and that if we do try to influence them, that'll backfire. So we shouldn't even try. So I'm going to ask you, should the U.S. have intervened during South African apartheid?
How did it intervene?
Sanctions, BDS, like, yeah, like the whole BDS movement, yeah. Boycott.
Yeah, like I said,
investment.
I think that there's things that we can step in. Again, I think it's more things that we're like settled on as a people.
Hold on.
No,
hold on.
hold on. So race relations, we weren't settled as a people, right? So this is like in the 80s and 90s this is happening, right? Like we weren't
I
settled
didn't say race
on,
relations. I
but
said
that was race
on-
relations. That was based on
Well,
what else was that?
no,
South
but-
It's
but
like
what we
Tim
were-
Mandela.
But what we were settled on is disenfranchisement. We were a country founded on the concept of disenfranchisement. We were settled on, like, you can't have these people live in your country that aren't considered citizens, that don't have the ability to vote.
Yeah,
That
like
was
the-
something that we.
I think
were
the
united
huge
on.
difference, the reason why why it made sense to interfere in South Africa compared to Ghana is because the majority of the people in South Africa were the ones that are being oppressed. It was a minority oppressing the majority. So you were doing the will of the people in South Africa.
I don't know.
versus-
That's a good reason.
That's true too. That's true
No,
too.
it definitely makes more
That's
sense.
yeah.
Hey, like these majority group people are being oppressed by this minority group people. It makes sense to help the will of the people.
Israel is a minority in the Arab, and we choose them. I don't.
Are
Wait,
you
Israel
okay?
is its own nation
Israel is
state,
its
though.
own nation. You're not making any sense. We're talking about within a nation.
We're talking about in the disputed.
No,
period.
he's saying inside of a nation, there's
Yes.
a minority of people oppressing a majority of people. And he's saying if that majority of people's will is to not be oppressed, it makes sense to step in. Contrasting that to a situation where in Ghana, the majority of people support this and the minority of people might being oppressed. And these aren't the same. That's all
Yeah,
he's
the
saying.
bam-
He's
But
not
I'm saying we
that
don't.
they're
But we
not-
don't view Israel as a nation. We review.
Who?
Let me finish. We view Israel as a region. We don't have hard borders on what Israel is. or
What?
isn't.
What are you saying?
What?
The United
They
States
have their own flag.
You're not. You listened to the first part and you started laughing.
The United States recognizes Israel as a nation.
You listened to the first part and you didn't listen to the second.
No, I listened
We
to
don't-
the entire thing.
We don't just view Israel as a
That's a
nation.
different
We
claim.
view Israel as a region. There's
No.
No.
there's not hard borders when we can in the consideration of Israel. There's
There was supposed to be,
disputed
but they
territory.
started like moving around. And,
Like we like you can't say the United States doesn't acknowledge like
If I look
the
up Israel on the
Palestinian
map, I
Arab.
won't see hard borders.
No, there's disputed territory. Like the map might draw a line. Like on
Does
but
disputed territory mean it's not a country?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're not listening.
There's disputed territory in South Morocco. In the Sahara.
You're not listening. I didn't say Israel wasn't a country.
We are listening.
No, Dream's not. I'm saying that just that when the U.S. acknowledges Israel, they don't just acknowledge this borderline of Israel and the Palestinians aren't part of the consideration, aren't part of the things that go into account. They acknowledge the entire region.
You're saying it as if it's like a counterclaim to what I'm saying.
Yes, because when you acknowledge the entire region, you realize really fast that the Israelis are actually the minority there. Yet we still choose to we still choose to put our borders in there.
It's fine to be a minority in a region. That's okay. I'm this analogous.
No, there's nothing disanalogous. Like you're saying that region doesn't mean anything, but it means a lot.
I didn't say it doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying
I'm saying Israel's borders are irrelevant because Israel doesn't acknowledge their borders. Israel doesn't have a hard rule on it what their borders are or aren't.
True.
Whether or not the borders are hard or not, it's still a recognized nation internationally, and so the question
they're a minority.
America.
Nigga, okay.
So I'm saying that pushes back against your argument.
My argument isn't just let's help minorities or let's help majorities. My argument is it makes sense to help a nation's people within that nation and intervene within a nation if the majority population is being oppressed by the minority population within a nation.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Israel and Palestine count as this exact situation.
Brother, are you okay?
Are you?
Yes, because
what are you missing about that?
If I'm talking about within a nation, and
Palestine is part of Israel's nation.
Palestine is a part of Israel's nation?
Yes.
That's why it's an apartheid right now.
They're an occupied territory within Israel's nation.
Brother,
they're an open air prison.
The Arab population in Palestine is the minority population. Would you agree?
No,
He thinks that all of it is one. That's what he's arguing right now, which I don't think the U.S. would agree with him at all.
Well, the U.S. Of course, the U.S. wouldn't agree because the U.S. I don't know.
The Palestinian, it's a
fucking Bantustan. So like
Gaza and the West Bank are not.
I'm just saying that if you're coming from what Dream is saying, what Dream is saying is right, and that's how our American foreign policy views this situation as well. I'm saying that what Dream is saying is
correct.
You can feel how you feel about the region. I'm not having that conversation. I'm saying that the way that we recognize these things is exactly what Dream is saying, and that's just why it's disanalogous to the other situation.
They're not considered citizens because of the apartheid. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. Why it's similar to South Africa. They weren't considered citizens.
Palestinians are not citizens of Israel.
The same way, the same way when you were looking at South Africa, they weren't considered citizens of a nation.
They're viewing the territory on the Palestinian side. They're being viewed.
Gotta get private aneurysm
as not the same territory that Israel has.
They are.
I know. And South Africa tried to do the exact same thing with the Bantustans, right? That's exactly what they tried to do.
They weren't considered citizens.
Yeah, they tried to make these autonomous regions to say, oh, well, they already have their regions. That's them over there. This is us over here. They're not actually part of our nation, but we have occupied control over all of that space. And then those people can't vote in our elections. They are our second-class citizen. It's literally the same thing. So look, I got a solution for you. Here's the solution. If my argument was, it would make the most sense for you to intervene in a nation where the majority population agrees on something. But even in your scenario,
they don't want to go vote in Israel.
No. Even in your scenario, Bam, in Prime, even in your scenario, the U.S. is intervening on behalf and intervening in the favor of Palestinian. They want to have.
All right. Sorry, I can't.
They're giving aid to Palestine.
Oh my god,
You're
that's
giving-
the
you're
stupidest
giving
fucking
aid-
thing, and I can't
it's
do.
not-
Sorry, I can't deal with this because
It's not stupid.
like Mordecai said, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. If you actually think that after the U.S. has sold them weapons,
I didn't say comparatively one side isn't favored. I never said that.
Sure,
I'm saying
okay,
they're
I'm
both
ignoring
being
you.
given
You know nothing
aid.
about this conflict, so I got to pull it
I
back.
do
to,
know
like,
about this
You
concept.
know you don't.
You
If you said
don't.
something,
You
you're
don't.
So the
if you're
U.S.
saying
gonna
that.
give any aid to
I gotta
Palestine?
pull
That's what I'm
back.
hearing.
I gotta pull
Yeah,
back. I don't
after
care.
being
No,
pressured
Dream,
constantly.
you
There's
don't
zero
understand.
aid to Palestine for the
Dream,
UN. Is that what
you
I'm
don't
saying?
understand. Hold on, stop, shut up.
After being
Dream,
pressured.
Dream, you don't understand.
Sorry.
I don't give a fuck about having this conversation with you. I don't care. I don't care. I'm trying to pull it back. To Ghana, right? Let's have a conversation about Ghana. Let's have a conversation about this thing, right? And should we as the black community care about this thing, right? So you you made a statement, right? You talked about like how
I'm bringing us
the
back on topic.
majority individuals, like majority like if a minority is oppressing a majority, then that's one situation, at least one situation in which we should intervene. Okay, right? And then you also talked about like, well, if the intervening nation has some sort of political consensus around the issue, then they should intervene. Correct?
Yeah, if a nation agrees on one thing, then it doesn't make the most sense for something to intervene. And if the minority population is oppressing the majority population, then it makes the most sense to help that majority population because it's the will of the people.
Okay. Sorry, you were saying
And there's
something,
also international. Oh yeah, you can go. Cheers, you.
Oh, I was gonna ask, did Obama travel to any nations and say, "Hey, you all should be less anti-black"?
Probably.
I know we
Kenya.
know about the situation of Kenya and like him saying, "Hey, you guys should be more accepting of gays." Do we know if there's any nation where he traveled and his primary agenda item? Because I'm reading this stuff about how I know Kenya is his country of his home country, blah blah blah, or country of ancestry, or whatever, blah blah blah. But is there? I don't recall this, and maybe this did happen, but this is going to dovetail into my point on the panel that we had yesterday, and how I think intersectionality is a terrible thing for Black people, and by Black people I mean Black people, the group. I think we don't focus on making the lives of all Black people better, and there's this game right now, and I think this is due to like dominant society where in order to talk minority you need to be a minority along multiple dimensions, and the more of a minority you are, the more press, money, blah blah blah, all that goes to this. So like I think I haven't heard of us recently like having a conversation over should we put sanctions on XYZ country for being anti-Black. And I think it's interesting that this topic came up. And I think this follows a cultural theme of if it's Black prioritizing LGBTQ or LGBTQ issues instead of just Black issues.
That's really
But
interesting.
GSU, you did hear me say that they deserve reparations, and both of us should probably work with each other to push on the idea of reparations on both ends. Yes. So this would be where that intersectionality could be beneficial to show that we've been disenfranchised the same as they've been disenfranchised, and to reach across the aisle on that.
Well, anti-blackness also it's probably harder to find cases of it being codified in law. Like if there was a law that like Black Americans
we aren't worried about whether things are codified in the law when we're talking about.
Imagine if you're talking about sanctions, I imagine you would be.
No,
talking
we're
about
not.
things that the
We're
government
not
is doing.
saying, "Oh my God, there's legislation here. Let's go sanction them." It's because we don't like the cultural or political implications of how they're acting. We don't need a law to say, "Oh, we're going to place sanctions on you because blah." What?
I think I strongly disagree. I think
wait,
it's
Bam,
highly
can I
related.
ask you a question?
Do you hold on? Wait. Do you strongly disagree with how we operate, or do you strongly disagree and you're saying this is how we should operate?
No,
are you saying that we only operate based off legislation and what we consider sanctions?
Yeah, I think if we're talking about sanctions, I think we're coming for government entities. I don't think we care about how individual people are nice or mean.
But Gamba's not even talking about sanctions. He's talking about, has a nigga ever been to a nation and talked against somebody being anti-black, a nation being anti-black. It should
Well,
be
what I'm
less.
wondering
Well,
is
that's
like,
the second part of the conversation. That's the second part of the thing. I was going to address that too, but I was just going to have. I didn't want to do
But
both.
my
at the same
my
time.
thing is this: it could be feasible that a nation has laws written down that go against black people, but treat them better than a nation that doesn't have those laws, but culturally treat black people way worse.
Yeah, and
Can't
I
you-
think we would. I think we would have bigger issue with the ones that were codified in law, regardless
Even
of like
even if the
individual
actual
cases.
lives of the people, black people.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
don't
thinking
think- I don't-
America is
don't-
like the most
'cause that-
anti-black country.
Well,
I don't know about that,
as
brother.
well. But-
China's number one in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I would think China would be right after us.
I think China's worse.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I'm with Bam. Sorry,
Good toss-up.
Bam. I'm just trying to jump on your point here, but if I'm missing it, then let me know. Right? Like I think what Bam is saying is correct. I don't know how like we would and
Take people's
for
word for it.
anti-blackness, right? That like they like so. Let's talk about the Chinese, right? Can we use the Chinese as an example? Do you think that's acceptable, Gambit? Do you
Yeah,
think-
for sure. Because
Okay.
I hear rampant anti-blackness there. Yeah, for sure.
Sure. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Like I would agree, right, that there's a lot of that in Southeast Asia, like in general, right? Like anti-blackness, like a general aversion of people with like darker skin, right? Like, and it's not like they're pro-white; they're just like pro-light skin, you know, right?
Yeah, colorism. Yeah.
It's a different thing. Yeah. It's a different thing there. But in any case, though, you had these moments where like companies, at least they perceive it to be so anti-black that like they take characters off of like movie posters, like black characters off there, right? But like that's like a general feeling. As far as I know, there's nothing codified into the law in China like against black people or necessarily against dark-skinned people. But if someone can correct me, I'll accept that. But if there's just a general sentiment in the culture, right, that doesn't like especially turn violent, right? Like when dark-skinned people come there, they don't like they're not rounding them up, they're not executing them. Like you don't need a law for that, right? To deal with something like that, right? But just like a general like dislike, you know, of like rude comments and stares, and then like that's something that we sanction.
Have you-
how would you even prove
But
that
that's
you
not what I'm
fixed it?
talking about.
Yeah,
We're
I don't know
talking
how.
about
Yeah, I don't.
something-
How do you even prove you fixed it?
But we're
Yeah.
talking about
exactly.
something.
You don't need to-
Hold on, I can answer the question. It's an easy question. Like if you've seen what China did to black people during COVID, I mean that's egregious enough for anybody to just, at the very least, I'm not even talking about sanctions, but I'm just going on the sentiment what Gambit said. Has anybody went to any of these nations and said, "Can you please be less anti-black?" And it makes sense because if you're willing to go to a nation and say, "Can you be less gay? Can you be less homophobic?" Why not go to a nation and say, "Can you be less?"
COVID? What did China
Huh?
do about people with COVID?
There were so many black people, particularly Africans, that were renting apartments in China, and they weren't allowed back into their own apartments. And McDonald's held signs up that says no black people allowed because they were the cause of COVID.
Oh, that sounds like a lawsuit. Send me that. I'm
Yeah,
getting in
I
on
haven't
that.
heard of
That
that.
did
That's
actually
interesting.
happen, but that's more propaganda for the time being, and I don't think it's something that stayed
But it was only it could
in the
have only
zeitgeist.
but it could have only happened when you have a nation that's that anti-black, right?
Well, no, it's just on the propaganda of the area. So, like here, we had anti-China stuff going on.
But
So
there was-
Chinese
at least-
people were
at
getting
least
hated
it was-
on.
But listen.
Should China have sanctioned us because of the anti-Chinese?
Exactly, that's what I'm asking.
I don't.
Well,
think-
that's a good question. Yeah, I would ask the same question.
I don't because
first-
the thing
first
is
of all, I don't-
how do you correct it? How do you like stop being racist? And then you say that like all
You
right, we
correct,
stop.
stop being gay.
Well,
you correct
again, if it's not codified in law, I don't know if there's any point in dealing with like microaggressions.
It's
I don't
not
know how-
micro.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So, like, we literally
It's
had
macro.
a president that was saying shit like the Kung Flu, versus like what country's
That shit was
president was saying
hilarious,
shit
too.
like that about black people.
Yo, listen.
I mean, I
Yo,
believe
listen.
No,
I,
this
fuck
is
with-
why I hate-
I have Chinese friends, but you gotta. They laughed at that shit too, so I don't feel. See, yes, that shit was hilarious, bro.
I'm saying
Same
it
thing
came from
from
their
like-
government, though.
The same
Versus
thing
their
with the-
government.
See, like this is why I'm not a huge fan of like the whole like irony joke meme stuff coming from our fucking.
But it came from China.
that-
But
No,
like
God.
nigga, Chinese people laughed. Like
still
literally.
like when a government does it.
You sound
If
like
you're-
some.
if you
It's
think
like the
you
white
do
dude
it,
said, "I got a black
I
friend, and
agree
he
with
loves
the-
when I call him the
I'm
N word."
not, I'm not saying the behavior was good. Everything Donald Trump did was like degenerate, right? But it was
say funny
hilarious.
shit. Racists can say funny shit. Yeah, it's fine.
I feel like if you,
Yeah,
I feel like you took a
exactly,
poll on that. I
exactly.
feel like a
Like-
lot of Asian people thought that was racist as F and like didn't think it was
Over
funny at
there.
all.
Yeah.
But
No, maybe, yeah.
And then we got the Stop Anti-Asian Hate bill because of that, and that's why black people
we
didn't
didn't
get
get a stop
anything.
we don't ever get an anti-black bill.
I'm
I
pretty
know,
sure
I
that
hear
exists
you.
though.
Seeing
That
shit
bill
about
exists. I'm
black
pretty
people
sure.
like the Kung Flu, then maybe we'll get a Stop Black Hate bill.
But
No, I think there is a black
anti
hate bill.
no, but
Well,
anti-blackness
it's
is more,
anti-lynching laws more so.
anti-blackness is more.
We can't even
rampant.
get anti-lynching laws.
Anti-blackness is more rampant in America than any other anti.
That's what I was saying. But
Right, so it doesn't make sense for any other group to have anything before us.
Yes, exactly.
agree
That's
with
my
you.
point.
But I'm saying
point
I think
is,
that the first of all,
Every
the answer.
time it's how can I do anything that's not just helping black people?
I'm pretty sure there is
Every
like
time.
a stop black hate thing. It does nothing
No,
the
it's
same way.
No, it's not.
All right, I'm just.
Please pull it
I
up.
think they did. They did a stop Asian hate, and I think they did things for trans people, right? I think that was we argued over a bill one time, blah blah blah. But it was never anything for black people, for sure. It doesn't exist.
Almost, it dates back to like the
It
70s. There was like
doesn't exist.
a anti-black hate crime bill. All right, I'll find it.
Oh, we're talking
But
about.
the thing is,
70s.
the Stop Asian
Okay.
Hate bill doesn't like all it was a phone line, and it didn't even get funding.
What are you talking about?
It was at least that though. It was
But
at
it did-
least
but
something.
it got
was at least
seized.
some national.
No,
wait,
you don't.
wait.
You will feel more
No.
disrespected. If I show you some bill from the 70s.
No. Listen, it was at least pandering to that community with something. It was at least saying, here's an issue, and this is an issue that we need to address. Whether or not they followed through, I agree with you, is important, but that's a different thing. They don't even pander to niggas. They don't even lie to niggas. They at least felt respectful enough to lie to them. They don't even lie to niggas. They like, y'all niggas not getting anything. Like,
just saying, it's a little late, but in 2020, in
even
March
going-
2022, Biden signed an anti-lynching law based off of Emmett Till.
Imagine that.
Wait,
60 years later, bro.
I'm saying it was late.
That's not a good enough bill.
No, this is
He was like, pander is great. We want to be pandered
Nigga, it's
to.
lynching. It ain't anti-black.
Hold on. I think that an anti-lynching bill and a proclamation that there's damage being done to a community are different. So I don't see this as the same level of respect that we give to other minority groups. Because this is good for sure, because lynching is mostly done to black people.
Is it lynching already
It's
murder?
not specifically like it's not specifically black. It's always, oh well, we'll help black people and we'll do opportunity zones, and black people won't benefit the most, but we'll say this was for black people, even though it wasn't. So we'll do shit like that. We won't do black shit. We won't go say, hey, we've been fucking up black people for a long time, and that shit's wrong. We won't even say that. Like that is not even possible. But we'll
right. We
but
don't
it's
call
America
it war.
that does it. So, like, even during World War II, they had to tell American white soldiers not to fuck with black soldiers in Europe. This is like a thing that we do, so we should be fixing this.
Instead of just beating around the bush,
The country should be sanctioning us over at Black Hate.
I think the main idea
that doesn't happen either.
The main idea is this:
Not
is that
disagreeing with you.
if we were to try to sanction or harm or help any other nation to be less homophobic, that we couldn't do that without us trying to make them less anti-black if they were.
Yeah.
I think that's the argument that's being laid out. Does anyone disagree with that?
Say it again.
The argument is if we were going to try to make a country less homophobic by doing whatever sanctions and incentives, we shouldn't be doing that without first trying to make them less anti-black if they are that.
That sounds really dumb, actually.
Yeah.
I was about to say, even as a black person, it's weird to say that, like, trying to like,
No, it's
putting
not
an order
weird.
on the issues you deal with. You deal with whatever issue you can deal with at the time.
Nah, you deal with anti-blackness first every time, for sure.
I have a bias towards that, but that's crazy from a policy
Bam, you say
perspective.
you
Nah,
deal
that's not
whatever
correct.
you say you deal with whatever you can deal with first. Why couldn't they deal with anti-blackness first?
I didn't say that. You said it was a requirement. You said you can't.
I'm saying it's a
do anything
requirement
else.
too.
I'm saying
You're
if a
saying that you
nation is
can't do any other
anti-black,
bill.
if a nation is anti-black, right?
then we can't
Why-
do anything else until
No,
we
no,
do that.
okay,
Well,
okay,
There
fine,
is no
fine.
nation.
America
There
doesn't
is no
think that.
nation that's more anti-LGBT than anti-black, unless we're talking about a black-only nation.
Right, bam. Here.
Period.
Let me amend it then. Let me amend it. You can't do anti-LGBT or you can't try to incentivize a nation to be less homophobic, without also trying to do something to make them less anti-black. I'm not saying you got to do one before the other, but at the very least, do both.
And you also have to make them less anti-environmental, and you also have to make them less anti-tall women. I don't know. Like
What?
it's weird. It's weird that you
We
would
can't
like.
say those are equal, bro.
It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Like it's weird trying to play the oppression Olympics with policy. I wouldn't like. Again, I have my feelings. I have the things that I advocate for, but I would never try to place like legislation on. We can't do policy unless we do everything at the same time.
Damn right. I'll sign it. Hey, Dream, write that shit up and send it to
Right.
me.
Like,
But
well,
my
yeah,
thing
I'll
is,
sign
damn.
it.
gay
My
people
thing
get
is-
to die until
My
racism
thing is,
ends.
my thing is
That's
about
wild.
Right?
it's less about oppression Olympics. It's more about how do I say the
The
narrative,
impact of-
the global
yeah.
narrative the world is trying to push is that we would rather help gay people first than try to help black people, and that seems to be a repeating pattern.
For sure. Across culture.
Yeah, I think that there's probably, especially if you're going on a global lens, I think that every country on earth has some interaction with
Well,
gay
if
people.
you're doing a
I
national
don't-
lens, any
I'm just-
locality that you want to separate it to.
I'm just dealing with
Statement is true.
I'm dealing with what was said. If you're dealing with a global lens, every country probably has some interaction with gay people. I don't think that like every country doesn't necessarily have interactions with black people. Like
Yeah, so-
every country has to figure out how they need to want to treat gay people, but I don't know if I don't know if China has an interest in figuring out how to treat black people.
Yeah. So I was gonna go.
There's
on
no
this
niggas in
direction
China?
as
Black
well.
people in the
Hold on.
citizenry.
It's not that they don't. Hold on. It's not their black people don't exist. It's just that the issue is so small that I don't know if there's like a cultural consensus in the same way
wait,
that like you have.
You think there's a country where the population of black is less than the population of LGBT? Go ahead, what nation?
Well,
No,
I
man,
mean,
that's what I'm
I
talking
think
about.
I could actually probably take that bet. I mean, so I'm thinking like
I'd love to
I don't
hear.
know.
I'd love to hear.
yeah. Hold on, one second. So, like,
Probably
so-
Sweden.
And furthermore, even if the population is, I'll try to look for the
It doesn't exist, but go ahead.
because
Look
I don't know, I've never looked into this, but the point is that like even if that was the case, right? Let's say that the population was bigger, that doesn't mean they had the same impact, right? Black people aren't spontaneously born into their families, right? So like they have to deal with gay people. They don't have to deal with like the less than 1% individuals like within their country that live way the fuck over there, right? So when I'm talking about like, and I think this is what Bam was saying as well. When we're talking about this impact, right? This like cultural consensus,
I'm sorry.
they don't deal with it in the same way. Like, how does I don't understand? Does that not make sense to you? Like, I feel like I'm being very rational here.
No.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're laughing
When
at.
you
So-
said spontaneously born, I'm just imagining.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Okay,
saying,
yeah.
like in China, it's like 98% Han Chinese. The black population is less than 1%, but the LGBT percentage in China is 3 to 5%. So the bigger issue over what happens with black people in China would be what happens to the Uyghur population in China.
Yeah, like I'm sure there's
Yeah,
quite-
like we don't like in America, we don't make policies related to Uyghurs because it's not like it doesn't mean that Uyghurs don't matter.
Yeah, they're
like
here.
in
We
the
can't
United States,
affect-
or are they
It
just
can't affect China. There's nothing we can do that can affect
no? But
China.
I'm just saying it's not about China specifically. I'm just saying that like countries internally have their own things that they deal with based on their regional and geographic like makeup, like the political makeup. And I'm saying that like black people in America, we have like our long history related to slavery. We have like civil rights, anti-blackness. How you treat black people from the United States and from an African concept is going to be really strong. Even though I believe anti-blackness is global, I'm just saying that like that you're probably never going to solve anti-blackness in places that black people just don't go or
it's
exist.
not politically relevant to them in the same way, right? Like when we had the whole history of slavery, the Civil War, right? Like it's like blackness is deeply tied, even though they don't want to admit it, blackness is deeply tied to the history of this nation, where it's not in those other nations, right? And so, yes, you might have people who treat us badly, who maybe have bad stereotypes in their head, but this is not like a politically solvent thing in their minds, right? It would become one if we all of a sudden be like sanctioning anti-blackness. Like, what? Right now, people are thinking about black people, and they're like, "What? Why?" I think that would increase anti-blackness in and of itself. Especially like we haven't passed the law.
We got 7
right?
niggas.
We got 7 of these motherfuckers. Like, all right, let's just deport them, and then I guess it's not a problem anymore. Like,
they could just deport the gay people too.
They just deport the gay people too.
But more keep being
Deport the black
born.
people.
But more keep being born. That's the issue.
Yeah,
like you
that'd
like
be the
let
end.
all the gays out, and then like
you
they're
knock
back.
out, you get rid of the 20 black people, then that's the end of the black people.
Wait. People aren't born gay, but we don't want to go into that.
Yeah, there's no one
But people
born.
are born and then show
People aren't born
being
straight.
gay.
Okay. People aren't born anything.
But hold on. Okay. But so I'll fight. I'm going to sidestep this question. So at some point, there is some mechanism that we haven't addressed that is turning people gay, right? Right?
Oh no, they can export all of the gay people. They can enculture themselves to not be okay with it like Ghana, and then they no longer have gay people.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it works
Just
that
like,
way.
just
Now
like
he's straight trolling me.
biologically,
That's
they
okay.
no longer have black people.
Now you're straight
Yes.
trolling me. Okay, I accept your
No, I'm
trolling.
being serious. If
No,
if
you're
you
not.
don't think it's a biological conception, then that's exactly what you would think.
Yeah. So we're moving past that part. But the point is that like,
Cool.
but
You know I'm right. That's what I mean.
No, I don't know you're right. No, I don't think you're right at all.
You
But
think
okay.
that's a gay gene? You don't think that.
Oh my God, no! Stop it!
You don't think
No,
that. That's too crazy.
So
Gambit,
You
GSU,
don't
I'm
believe
wondering.
that.
Gambit,
I don't believe
he's on the
behavior.
president.
Gambit.
GSU, I got a question.
I'm trying to deal. One second. And I'll go straight to you afterwards. I'm trying to deal
There's
with
no way
the
you
first
believe
thing you
this.
presented to us, right? Because I think it's
Okay,
really interesting rather than that. But Mordecai, you can go first.
Well, I was just wondering, do you know if somebody's black at birth, or do you would you first know if they were gay or trans at birth?
I'm saying that you never know exhibited behavior that will happen later in life at birth. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and black isn't a behavior.
Yeah, black
Exactly.
isn't a behavior.
My black.
So it would be a lot easier to get
I
rid of
don't know.
black people
I think
than it
people
would be
have
to get
called
rid of
like
gay
our friend
people.
Razor here, like not black.
Oh,
here
when you
because
wait.
of,
I wasn't talking about the level of energy it would take to expel both. I was just saying that theoretically both could happen.
I got a nigga mind.
I didn't say the same amount of energy would be taken. I never
I'm
said
not
that.
talking about that. I was not talking about that. I'm talking about like the.
No, I was answering Watercow's question.
Oh,
He was
excuse
saying
me.
that you don't know at birth if somebody might eventually choose to be gay, and I'm agreeing with that statement completely because I
I don't
believe
think
it's
they
all.
choose, but okay.
They definitely. You don't believe. So do you believe people
So
are
could
born
you tomorrow
murderers?
choose? No, I'm saying
No. Can you name? Can you? Yes, I could, but I don't because I don't value it. But do you think that there's any other exhibited behavior in humans that you would say you had at birth? Are you? Was I a software engineer at birth? Like was I was predestined to become a
so. You're
software
saying
engineer?
it's a learned thing. You learn to be gay.
Yeah, of course, I learned to be straight. I saw my
So
mom
are
and
you
my
saying
dad. No,
animals? You're saying animals in nature learn to be gay, and it's not a natural occurrence.
Yes, I'm saying that it's always learned.
That's bullshit.
It's always
Whenever
learned
the topic of LGBT
Okay,
comes up,
then-
Gambit, whenever the
okay,
topic
now
of
we're getting deeper into it than
comes up,
relevant.
Gambit has the most
Yeah.
retarded takes I've ever heard.
Yeah,
This
I'm
isn't
sorry.
retarded at all. This
That's
is what
not-
most
Gambit's probably
human beings
closer to
believe.
correct here. It's a weird. It's
This
a
is
weird.
what almost all human beings believe.
He's probably mostly correct, but it's just a crazy conversation to have right
Wait,
now.
It's not
Okay.
crazy.
Engineers
I don't
are
know why
not
we're
naturally
having it.
occurring. Gay is naturally
Why are
occurring.
we-
I
Yeah.
don't.
No.
I don't agree. I don't.
Straight
agree
isn't
with this.
naturally occurring.
I don't agree.
This
With
is
that.
all-
I don't.
if-
Hold on. I just don't agree. Hold on.
Hold
So
on,
okay,
hold on.
hold on. So when I tossed to
No,
Mordecai,
I can
I
end
did-
this.
oh, no,
I can end
what-
this by answering a simple
No, you
question.
can't. No, you
Okay,
can't.
if you were born into a nation with just men fucking men, do you think you would be born and be like, nah, I want to fuck women? No, you look at what's happening
You
around
would.
you. You'd adapt the environment around you, and you'd
If
be
you
fucking men.
If you
No.
grew up and you saw, if you grew up in that, if you grew up
It's
in
the whole
that, in that area, if you grew
against,
up in
what
that,
do they
if you
call-
grew up in the, if
This
you
is
grew
the-
up in that particular
Prime,
community you're talking
Prime,
about,
Just let him
and you
get it out.
saw
Jesus,
a,
dang.
if you
Oh,
grew
y'all
up
listening to
in
this?
that
Oh, okay.
particular, if you grew up in that particular thing that you just questioned, and you saw a woman and were attracted to that still, which is the thing, because there are a lot of gay people who grew up seeing nothing but straight relationships and they were still attracted to men. Fuck off with the dumbass shit you're saying.
No, but
No,
what he's saying,
that's-
okay,
that-
I
that-
didn't
that's
want to have
stupid.
this conversation, but the reason why GSU was right is like
I'm just right.
the statistic
Always.
reality is like there
No.
doesn't seem to be, to the best of our knowledge, a gay dream. It does seem to be a behavior.
Obviously
There's also studies that show that like people, children who were raised by LGBT parents have higher rates regardless of gender of being
course.
LGBT because some
course.
level of exposure like
But-
increase your likelihood of being something. It's not a
Okay.
hard rule, but yeah,
Wait,
that's
Can
it.
we
We don't
The
have
whole
back?
argument
Can we move
against.
back? Can we move
Hold
back
on, Prime,
to
Prime.
the- No, you said you
we
were gonna
can
end
this.
it, but then no, not ending it.
No, but I need you to tell me the word that I'm forgetting. There's a word for heterosexuality being the norm. There's a word that we use to say
Heteronormative.
the whole
Heteronormative.
argument against heteronormativity is because there's a sociological
Okay,
component
alright, so I'm
to
gonna pull
your
back.
exhibiting
Sorry,
sexuality.
I've already
Go
done
ahead.
this a few gambit before. Just
And
like
you know I'm right, but go ahead.
refer to my arguments there because they address everything that you're talking about. But we're gonna push forward, right?
Yes.
The first thing before you were talking about was like anti-blackness and dealing with that in terms of these nation states. So I think I agree with Bam that it doesn't make sense not to do it in places that are not codified, right? So in South Africa, it was codified, and so that made sense to take a stance against anti-blackness there, right? And especially when things aren't politically salient to a population, right? They may have some cultural mores, some unfortunate cultural mores, but if that's just the case, it's difficult to understand, like to have even benchmarks as to when progress has been made if we just all of a sudden sanction them on these things, right? That's different from like dealing with a place like the American South, where let's say like they didn't have any laws, but like there was still like public harassment. There was like a deep-seated resentment for the specific population, right? This substantial population within the region. That would be a different thing, you know. So I does that answer your original question?
So what you're saying is, if there's no legislation, it's more complicated to understand, to even draw metrics on whether or not a country is being more successful. So the use of sanctions becomes less and less viable because there's nothing to tie it to.
Mm-hmm.
So if Israelis said, "Hey, we have Arab population and we allow them, we don't have any laws on the books against them," you'd say, "Yeah, we shouldn't sanction for
Okay, so
what they're
at some point,
internally in Israel
you
doing."
remember
they would have voting rights and everything. That would be a completely different situation.
Yeah, so
What-
they
Wait, what? What'd you say?
So they do have laws and those laws, but even if they didn't, right? But even if they didn't, like the second part of my response addresses that, right? Because I would compare Israel to the American South, right? And the way they culturally deal with this substantial population within their region.
But I think America.
I thought you said, hold on, wait. No, I misunderstood, Brian.
Okay.
I thought you said things like the American South are hard to deal with and hard to know progress on, so you wouldn't sanction in those cases.
No, I meant I would sanction a place like the American South, where I wouldn't sanction like China, because China isn't like super friendly with black people.
Okay, I misunderstood. Okay, gotcha. I completely misunderstood everything you said. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I think that like I think that it actually would change significantly how we handle it as an international issue if the situation with the Palestinians changed to the degree that there was no law in the books differentiating them from the population. Like if they had voting rights, if they had like equal protections, quote unquote, under the law. Like
specifically, I was talking about Muslims are Arabs that live in Israel, and I could be wrong, but I don't think there are laws on the books that discriminate against them.
Yeah, they're not. They're not allowed the same citizenship. Like they're disenfranchised.
Wait, is that? I don't think that's true. Is that true?
Yeah. Non-Israelis
Can
can't.
somebody else?
Well, I mean, yeah, you can't. They went. That's literally the reason why they won't allow. Well, one of the biggest reasons why they won't allow Palestinian citizenship is because Israel is a Jewish nation.
My understanding, and I could be wrong, my understanding is that the ones that live within Israel proper can vote, right? Like the ones who have residency.
Yeah, exactly.
There.
Yeah, I've never heard this before.
But I expand the because I talked about the Bantu stands previously. I would expand it to the occupied territories and to Gaza, saying that like those are also part of this country. Clearly, they are right. They have military power over them. So like the 100%, that's there as well. They don't control their own body. They're not a separate nation. In fact, if they were, like they're trying to get the 2 states, so that'll be implying they already have the 2 states. But okay, sorry, I don't want to get.
But we have the U.S. has islands and stuff that can't vote in American elections. That we have a military presence there.
Hey, Samoa.
Right. That doesn't make you a part of the country.
They're.
And wait. To be clear, I'm not at all making moral statements about whether or not I think what Israel is doing is right. I'm just saying that there are parallels.
We have colonies
in American culture where we have military presence in places and they can't participate in our elections. They also aren't considered citizens. Yeah.
All colonies, yes. We call them territories because that's a PC thing that we term we came up with. They're colonies,
but
American colonies.
So I would say this. My assumption is that things are called territories when it's the political will of those people to live in that arrangement. My assumption would be the places that we have territories, those people are comfortable with the arrangement that they have with the U.S. on the majority spectrum. Whereas something like the Gaza Strip, those people aren't comfortable with the situation, and you could more consider that colonial. But yeah,
I think Puerto Rico, and a few other territories are constantly advocating for their.
No. Whether or not they want to become states, and whether or not they don't like their current arrangement of being inhabited, are 2 different conversations.
Are they? I feel like they're part of.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the reason you want to be a state is because you're uncomfortable with your current inhabitants. But you can't fight. Your only alternative is fighting the U.S. directly.
No. So you can do 2 things. You can do 3 things. You can do 2 things. You can do 3 things. You can do 3 things. You can say, hey, us as a collective here, we want to be our own republic. Us as a collective here, we want to be a part of this other nation. Us as a republic here, we like the company of this larger nation because they provide us military and financial support. We'd rather be a nation, but we definitely would not rather be a republic that's disconnected from that nation. And I think what they're opting for is that third, more complicated submit. So they want more. It's like a girl that like you smashing and she want to be your girlfriend, and like she's voluntarily being your girlfriend, but that she's voluntarily smashing, but you're not making her your girlfriend. That's how I view the U.S. and these territories. We're just smashing them, and they would like the relationship to go further, but we don't want it to go further. So I don't view that the same as somebody raping somebody. You should that's the distinction that I'm trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I don't think that's the reason why we make that, why we call them that. I think it's because I remember I remember hearing an author who wrote a book about this, right? They talked about this very specific issue, and from their perspective, it's because it's literally because imperialism fell out of style, right? And they want to call them colonies, so like they started calling them territories. But I hear what you're trying to do, though, right? And making a distinction in all these just because even if it is a colony, right? Like these aren't the same things, right? These are built differently all around. Okay.
I would, to embolden my point a little bit, just to push on you a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's places where things are called territories where that's not the arrangement.
I don't know if anyone else calls it a territory. I'm not sure if anyone else does.
So I think he's saying that like, for example, Puerto Rico actually wants to be more invested in the United States, not less. He's saying like they're not. No,
he understands that part. I'm just saying that I don't think the term territory was used to like have soft colonialism. I think it's a representation of a different relationship between 2 different nations.
I could be wrong, but I don't know if anyone else uses it in the same way that America uses it. But
That's
yeah,
funny today.
yeah. But I don't know. But that's an interesting conversation. I just I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, we've run out of time here, so we'll just pack it up.
Wow, we did it. That thing.
Yeah.
We did it. And now we're about to do the open panel. That's good. Cool.
Are we
That's
doing
good.
that?
We don't got any support here. We don't got any support for an open panel. So
we
we're
gonna-
gonna have to we'll leave it at that though. But anyway,
Yes, sir.
thank you. I'm gonna thank everyone else.
We just got a lot of support in chat. Somebody just gifted us up. Yeah.
gifted,
Cool.
gifted us
Cropborn
okay.
wants to have an open.
Sweet
Yeah.
250. That will definitely not be enough.
Don't
Okay.
say that.
So Deal No Dream, thank you for coming through. Really appreciate it, friend. Nice to have you. Things were been looking tough for you. To make yourself feel better, you decided to copy Gambit, and that's okay, right? You should copy your heroes, right?
Yeah, this is the
but-
prime. This is the prime tactic of instead of me gonna engage with the argument, I'm gonna yell at you and say we're gonna move forward. Anyways, thank you
I didn't
for
hear
having me
shit.
on the panel. I love all of you guys. This was an amazing strategy debate. Me and Gambit was locked in against 2v4.
Yeah.
It was
we're
awesome.
humble, but-
Yeah, I'm not like Prime and Bam. I'm not gonna say what they said. This is funny. No,
Y'all on the
I love
same
you
page.
guys.
Y'all are
Thank you
definitely on the
for-
same page.
what?
Y'all are definitely on the same page. Y'all look like y'all on the same page.
Yeah,
That's what I literally said that.
Following your idol. I get it. Yeah.
I said we were locked in.
That's what I'm saying. But I was using the word that you said you didn't want to use.
I'm talking about a different word that I'm not gonna use. That Prime used.
I thought you said we were on the same page. Is that not what you said, bro? I don't think
No,
it
you
was
said something else. You said something
Oh,
else. You said a
God.
bunch of shit.
Oh.
You said a bunch of shit. Anyways, yeah, thank you. Yeah. Let Ghanaians be black. Let's give them money so they let Ghanaians be homophobic. Let's give them money so they can become less homophobic.
How is like being on the same page gay, but then being locked in and doing this symbol, right?
definitely
How is that
sounds
not gay?
We said normal.
Because
And I didn't make it wildly
with matching hats.
right?
That's a
And
domain
you got-
expansion has been
remember-
void.
And you got
Remember
Gambit
you
with
broke
his
the
lumberjack
15
shirt,
sec-
right?
You broke the 15-second rule. Let's keep context here.
I'm just
Like,
saying.
you-
No, hold on. No,
I'm
wait a
just
minute,
saying it was a different scenario.
No.
If you send those
Nah,
two
it was-
clips
it was-
to people,
Now,
they will be like,
Gambit's
wait,
like, oh, it
what
was a
happened?
different time. It was a different time back then. But okay, it's cool. All right. And I would say that Gambit would be exactly the type. At the start of this, I said like, Dream would be into bears, right? I said that at the very. Gambit wasn't here for that. But and then he comes with his lumberjack shirt. I'm just saying, match made in heaven. Or something.
Yeah.
Let's go to Razor Sharp Gaming. Razor, thanks for coming here, defending your crew, right, from slanderous attacks from some
The
people on the
Yippies.
panel.
The Yippies.
Hey, just because I have a ton of furry porn on my phone doesn't mean that all of them do.
Oh no.
Beside the point.
He's a Yippie.
Holy shit, guys!
That's not a term.
Hold on.
That's
Now
not
we got an emergency. Holy
Wait.
fuck! Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama passes.
I was
away.
just
On the
about to do
first.
that.
On
I
the
was just
first.
about to say that. I've been waiting. I've been like, I
Wait, what?
saw
All right,
while
still
you
wait.
guys were in
You
the
don't,
middle
you
of
don't get
talking
credit. I'm
everything.
sorry, Razor. You don't get credit.
What
I did it
happened?
first. You don't get
So
credit.
yeah, Akira Toriyama has died at the age of 68, unfortunately.
That's so young.
Who is
Yeah.
that?
He's a creator.
The
of
creator
Dragon
of
Ball.
Dragon
Ball.
Ball.
He set up a nigga,
Oh,
a
Van Lang.
generation of niggas that like anime.
And
Wow.
also
Yeah,
give us
created
green
the
people to
furry.
consider black in shows.
It's a
What up
good
to my
thing
boy
they started.
Piccolo?
It's a good thing they got the new nigga doing his shit too.
Nah, this
so.
is kind
Wait.
of a big deal.
We're not accepting a
Oh, that's
green
huge.
nigga as niggas, are we?
Huh?
Have you not
Yeah, I
seen
saw-
how Piccolo
it's no,
acts?
it's-
Talk,
Nah.
He is not.
He's
He
a
is not
perfect
black.
stepfather.
He is not black. Oh my god.
He's
He's
We just
green.
identify
He's
with
black.
Piccolo.
I mean, technically, he would be some part of Indian, but the black culture did.
That's
like
what I
adopt him.
said. That's when people were saying Skeeter Valentine was black. I'm
But
like, what the
Skeeter
hell
was
is wrong
definitely
with you?
black. Skeeter was
No,
definitely
wait.
black.
No, Skeeter
Wait,
was
Prime.
like blue, right? No,
There's
that
one
nigga
person.
wasn't black.
You're the
Bluish,
one person I
purple,
would never
just
have this
chartreuse.
conversation with because
The main black guy.
Because I've already
the-
proved you
the-
wrong.
black.
Because I've
The,
already
the,
proved you
main,
wrong.
the main,
Skeeter Valentine was black.
Skeeter's absolutely black. Skeeter's the
main-
nigga to me.
wait. The main
That's a
nigga. The
nigga
main
sound.
He beatboxed.
Wait,
The main,
you think niggas make sounds like that daily?
Every nigga I ever met make that noise. I knew it when he said it. We done said it like 6 times in conversation. It's like how we recognize each
Wait,
other.
hold on, Prime. We can do the closing, but we gotta talk about this. we gotta do it.
The
Y'all
man's name
can't
is
be.
Skeeter
These
Valentine.
niggas aren't black. What are y'all doing?
The Namekians probably not, but Piccolo is.
Piccolo
Hold
is
on,
not
hold on.
black at all.
Not
Demon
black.
King Piccolo.
the blackest guy in Dragon Ball is Oob.
Loop is
no,
definitely
very-
Yeah, for sure. Who
He's-
was well?
Yeah, he's African. He's
Indian.
like from
He's
basically.
he's Asian.
Oh, he's Indian.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my bad. It's Mr. Popo.
Technically,
It's Mr.
Dragon Ball
Popo.
Z is very racist.
Fuck you on that dream.
The black people are the black people with the big
Fuck
round.
you.
Like
pink
literally the blackest. We're talking about.
I think there were actually black people in like Dragon Ball, like
Yeah, they
original,
were.
but
Yeah.
none in like
Yeah.
Like
Z.
I think
They
Mr.
had the-
White
they had the-
was,
they had
Wait, no, none of this shit is important. You niggas look at Skeeter and Piccolo and feel represented.
Skeeter
it's
Valentine for
incredible.
sure. I'm about to
It's
say
incredible.
Piccolo was like,
Yeah.
but Skeeter was definitely a nigga.
Piccolo
Wait,
gives
hold on,
off-
wait.
Piccolo gives off that like strong black father vibe, and I fucking love it.
What the
True.
fuck? Wait,
This
you
is-
agree with this too, Waterkai?
Hey, Piccolo took in Goku's son, raised him up to be strong, and he's the most powerful thing running in that.
That makes
series.
him black?
Wait.
That's crazy.
It's how he speaks. It's his mannerisms. Everything about him just screams like strict black father who loves you.
Wait, I know who's black. I know who's black in Dragon Ball.
If you say Popo again, I swear.
No. It's Vegeta's henchman, number 2 guy.
Nappa?
Nappa. Nappy hair.
Nappa's a
Nappa.
Saiyan.
You mean
Like
bald?
a cabbage.
Now
dude.
Nappa
Like
looks
a
like a-
cabbage.
Like a big gay biker dude.
He's
That's what I thought of
bald.
Nappa.
Exactly.
Wait.
He's just a light skinned bald
Hold on,
nigga.
wait.
He's a
I
light
don't
skinned
know
bald
if we
nigga.
agree. Because it sounds like Razor did
No, 'cause
agree.
if you-
When I think of somebody as black, when I look at this concoction, I feel represented. When y'all look at these people, y'all feel like, oh, that could be
When
me.
I look
I
at
don't
when
feel
I
that
look
about
at
blue ass
Piccolo-
characters.
I know you. I know
Okay.
you're
I
old,
look
but this
at-
will
Okay,
tell me if you have any
concede,
sense at
Gambit,
all.
we are not represented in that show. There are very few black people. I think they showed up in like the early
True.
part of like the
the
Yeah, there
Dragon
were
Ball
Blue
some. Yeah, there
Saga.
were some Dragon Ball characters.
There were
who
some black
who
people,
who
but
had
we're not very well
African-looking
represented.
Features.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this will tell me if you have any sense at all. Like if any of y'all have any sense at all. I know this is a little young, but Darwin, the fish from Gumball. What do you
I didn't
think?
watch
basically
Gumball.
every
I don't know
time
what
someone
that
does every time someone does
The creator even
artist-
made him black. I was gonna say like because
Yeah.
I was curious what y'all
there's,
say.
yeah, there's
I don't
there,
know
there,
what that
there,
is.
are ep- there's-
Yeah.
there are episodes where
Austin
Darwin
Hoffman
He's
does-
at least brown. He's at least brown. Maybe. I don't know his
Well, he's a
character or
goldfish.
anything,
he's a goldfish. he's a
but he looks
Amazing Order-
brown. So
I mean, he
maybe.
looks like a goldfish. I was about to say, what about Wilt from Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends?
his
I don't know what that is.
creator was Michael Jordan.
He's the tall
creator
blue
was
one
Michael
or
Jordan.
tall red one.
Yeah,
sorry.
the tall
All
red
red.
one.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
he
he was-
kind of like
no,
a.
This shit definitely not black. What?
The nigga's based on Wilt Chamberlain. What are we talking about? This is a nigga. His creator was a nigga.
Wasn't it Michael Jordan or was it some? It was a famous basketball player.
He said
was it
Wilt
They
Michael
called-
Jordan? Was it-
Oh, the famous basketball player is a white guy that wore number 1. I'm
They
looking
called
at the
him
picture
Jordan
right now.
Michael. His creator, they called him Jordan Michaels. But yeah, it was supposed to be Michael Jordan. But
It was
his
supposed to
name
be
is
Michael
Wilt.
Jordan.
Oh, this is somebody. Never mind. I found the picture, but this is somebody, I guess, for Halloween or something. I thought this was.
No,
who
you
they
thought that was
based
the
the
actual
character off of.
cartoon? Yeah, no.
Yeah,
but-
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah, I don't know the show. I agree that you could not look black and you could be some weird ass color because that's what the show is
It's
doing.
called coding. It's called
but
coding.
but yeah, but I've rarely seen that in cartoons.
This
for
is,
sure.
this is a good conversation. I'm sorry we're ending, but just a couple more. Goofy and Max. First of all, everything from a Goofy movie is black. Goofy
I
movie
mean,
was black movies all the time.
Caroline was black.
Yeah, Michael Jackson was in that movie. Yes.
A Goofy movie?
a goofy
Yeah,
movie that is the story of
the
a black.
dog version.
Y'all felt
was Tevin
represented in a goofy.
That's
You niggas
crazy.
are goofy. Yeah,
No, 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 no.
goofy movie.
This is actually no. They actually made
That's
a
crazy.
short film about this. They actually made a short film about this. What show made the short film
It's
about
Atlanta.
this? Atlanta.
Because everything goes back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But yeah, a Goofy movie is an extremely black movie. They like from the song choices to the idea of like first of all, Goofy's character was actually based on a black man. Like if you want to go, if you want to be real, yes, it was. It was great. It was racist, but Goofy was supposed to be based on like a country nigga, basically a nigga that's happy, go lucky, go along, and his white partner Mickey. Mickey's a white man, but a Goofy and Max are niggas. I'm sorry,
No.
I'm almost
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, so,
Arthur
Oh,
was the nigga.
in the sorry,
Arthur was a nigga. What?
The
All right,
aardvark.
I'm about to leave.
Arthur the
Let's do-
aardvark.
Yes,
Yeah.
and his rabbit
Yeah,
friend
let's
was the
do-
white boy. Arthur was black, though. Absolutely.
Let's do closings because y'all niggas are crazy. Razor, it's
yeah.
your turn. Razor.
What?
I haven't even done my outro. Oh, but Powerline from the Goofy movie was based off of Bobby Brown. Okay, continuing. Okay.
I mean, it was Tevin Campbell. I was about to say he could have been Tevin Campbell.
It was modeled after Bobby Brown, though. That's what it says. But
Tevin Campbell's nigga enough.
Yeah, Tevin Campbell straight up did the voice and the songs.
Okay.
That doesn't mean the
let's-
characters in the movie was black.
Let's
but the
keep
model of Bobby Brown.
pushing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, this was fun, especially this last little bit. I just want to be able to. I want to be able to have like an intersectional view on most things. I want to be able to help Black communities as much as possible, but I don't want to leave out the gay and trans people that are also within the Black community. Who might get completely left behind. I want acceptance within the Black community for the LGBTQ so that we can all work together and take down this fucking white supremacist, fucking homophobic system that we have, and have it built back up to be something that works for literally everyone. If you like what I had to say, if you just want to see me play games, or if you just want to see me post random shit on Twitter, the name you see there, just put the @ that's my Twitter. If you follow me here, Razor Sharp Gaming 96 on Twitch. Every other Monday, I'm doing a show called No Man's Land with my friend Howard Rhodes, where we just pick a topic and we try and delve deep into it as much as we possibly can. I believe next week we're talking about media literacy, politics within said media. Feel free to join us. Like I said, it's not next week; it's the week after. Yeah. And again, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, friend. Let's go to Waterkai next. Waterkai, thank you for being here. Nice to have you. Everyone, like, you should be subscribed to Waterkai. He's got a good show on his end, right? People are really enjoying it. People talking about it. I hear it all the time. Thanks for being here, friend.
Thank you for having me, and thank you. We finally got to tackle this topic because I've been really wanting to get to homophobia in the Black community. I held a panel on it yesterday, and this follow-up was even better, and we got even deeper into the topic. So I appreciate you giving us some food for thought on this. And if anybody's not watching, they should start watching Pride, because this community helps a lot of people and gets a lot of people started. We get more and more personalities coming from here, especially Bam. Bam's doing great, amazing, like all over the place.
I hate I missed your thing, man. I'm sorry about that. I just know it was a good time.
Oh, it's all good.
It was bananas.
Yeah, I had a great conversation as I always do. This is one of my favorite things to do each week. Also Fry Lock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force was in here, and Sale. I won't explain myself.
Frylock.
Yeah.
Duh, he had locks.
Yeah.
Fries for locks.
But Prime wouldn't say so because that universe didn't have black people in it because the creator didn't say that he was black.
And Meatball was black. He was
He
just an idiot.
He was probably mixed.
He was a
But-
me version.
Thank y'all for your time.
Okay. Man. Okay. So, just your Gambit. Please go ahead. I'm glad, Gambit, I can look to him, at least in these times, for more clarity, on, like, who's an actual Black person or not, right? Yeah, it takes the real Negroes here, right? Are the ones who have that moral compass. It seems like. Gambit, let them know.
Yeah. So we had a panel, and this is one of the most like eye-opening moments that I've had in like ABE history. We had a panel, and the question was, at some point in your past, did you ever feel bad about being Black? And I think Bam, a few other people raised their hand. And now I know his hand was up because he has no fucking clue what Black is. And like this shit is all coming together now. Like it really touched me. I was like, wait, people really grew up feeling like bad about being Black. And if you think all of these niggas are Black, then yeah, like your whole compass is fucked up. So I can understand now why that happened. I'm
That's crazy
sorry
to
that
remember that.
It is a sickness, and we do not want
really
it.
no, that shit really. If you go back and I don't know if the VOD
That was
exists
like a
anymore.
year ago, probably.
Yeah, my mouth was wide the fuck open because I had never heard of like I felt bad about being Black. And I think I even said that on the panel. I was like, maybe it's because I grew up in like a place that was just infinitely Black and there was like only us. So it was like no real possibility of it. But no, that shit touched me. That shit was eye-opening to me. But now I know why that shit exists. But but yeah, I'm always happy to be here with my niggas. This shit was fun. Yeah, I can't wait till the next time. Hopefully it won't be a lot of goddamn weeks like this time. Hopefully I'll be back next week. So yeah, this was fun, man. I always enjoy it. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Dream. Shout out to Razor. Bam. Guadaka. Shout out to Prime.
Absolutely. We can still talk about the subject in private, right? I can just read out to someone, and if
You can read out to me because I'm still streaming. We can keep this going.
Yeah, sure.
No. I gotta say some racist
Prime
slurs.
specifically was wanting to say stuff that wouldn't be on a stream. That's what he
Gotta go,
that's what he
guys.
was going
Peace.
for.
Okay, yeah.
Peace out, Drew.
All right, bro.
Have a good one, friend.
Oh, Joe Lewis is live.
Oh, is Joe Lewis live?
What is Joe doing?
Oh, shit.
What is he
I'm
doing?
surprised nobody said Panthro from Thundercats, though. That's kind
Oh,
of
I'm about to fuck with him.
Thunder.
I forgot about
Actually, he
Thundercats.
comes off
Yes,
as a white man.
Panthro.
though.
Is that book smarts on Joe's stream?
Panthro kind of feels like Panther does feel like he might.
How do you,
would be,
how
like,
is Joe with a O, right?
Yeah. Wait, what's another way to spell Joe?
No,
Joe with
because
a zero. You meant to say.
zero. That's what I meant. Yeah, Joe with a zero.
I
How
just
do you
thought
spell
it
his
was
channel?
Jooe. It's just two O's, Lewis.
Yeah, Jooe Lewis.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Double O's make the ooh noise.
Okay.
Only
Drew
you would
Lewis.
have thought of that.
Oh no, he's
Yeah.
not. That's definitely not book smarts. That's the Humanist Report. And oh yeah. Joe got on to the leftist mafia thing. That's interesting. Good for Joe.
What the hell is that?
It's a collection of lefty people who talk. Usually on AB time.
Well,
So yeah.